Good afternoon and welcome to Andre Reed Stadium on the campus of Kutztown University as we are live for NCAA Division II Football Championship quarterfinal action. I'm Tyler Trumbauer alongside my broadcast partner Mike Iannacci as the undefeated and third-ranked Kutztown University Golden Bears with their 13-0 mark welcome the Bobcats of Frostburg State with an 11-2 record here to Berks County with the Super Region 1 title on the line here this afternoon through 13 contests. This season, it has been an unblemished 2025 for the Golden Bears, and this upstart Frostburg State team has been making a run out of the Mountain East Conference, Mike, and their season stats show a lot of positives, some negatives. What stands out to you when you look at the tail of the tape between these two?
Well, they're averaging 30 points per game, a pretty good balance rushing and passing attack. They have two good running backs that we'll see. They have multiple receivers. If you look at their stat line, they're all pretty much in the same area. The two things I look at is penalty yardage and turnovers. They've turned the ball over 24 times this year. So in a game like this, it's crucial to have ball security and not give the other team those sudden changes.
There's just 8 teams remaining in all of the NCAA Division II championship tournament, and a spot in next weekend's national semifinals are on the line. We'll step aside. We'll have the kickoff coming up next right here on ESPN+. And Mike, the Frostburg State Bobcats won the toss and elected to defer. So we will see the Kutztown University offense out on the field to start here in our Super Region 1 final, getting set for kickoff in just a matter of moments. Mike, these opening 15 minutes have to be critical.
I believe so. I mean, Kutztown defense is only allowed 10 points all season. I think for Frostburg State to continue this run through the playoffs, they would like to immediately shut down this Kutztown offense, get a 3-and-out. And Kutztown's first quarter has just been very dominating throughout the whole season. So I think the first quarter is crucial for both of these teams for different reasons.
Brandon Keene, the graduate year kicker out of Elkton, Maryland, is set to kick off to start this afternoon's contest. Thank you all for tuning in here as we have a spot in the national semifinals on the line. The furthest the Bobcats have ever been in this tournament. KU has been to this spot a couple of times, looking to get back to the semis, and we're underway here at Andre Reed Stadium. Returnable kick from the far side around the 11. Cut back up across the 20. Good movement. And up near the 40-yard line, and a good return there for the Golden Bears will set up this offense, as it's good to see Zach Perta there on the kick return. And we'll see this Kutztown offense, which has been impressive here in 2025, Mike, as we take a look at that replay. Nicely done. This is a KU offense led by Harlan Hill finalist Judd Novak, the redshirt junior quarterback out of Mannheim, Pennsylvania. Has 30 combined touchdowns, 25 passing, 67% completion percentage, Mike. And the one thing he does, he wins. Right. 36-3 as a starter.
Burkhart, single setback here to start out.
Him and Jaden Stewart, the 1-2 punch in the backfield for these Golden Bears. Novak will hand it off to Burkhart on the first play on a counter, and he gets to the second level for a good first play from scrimmage. That'll be 10. Move the sticks. That's Stephen Burkhart, the redshirt junior out of Gloucester City, New Jersey. Averages a little over 6 a carry, Mike. He got 10 on this play.
Well, good place to run over Ryan Chernecki, who was nominated this week as a Gene Upshaw finalist for Lineman of the Year, number 75 out there getting looks. That's Chernecki and Everett over there that side, and Burkhart, as usual, finishing off the runs strong.
Kutztown outscoring opponents 154-10 in the opening quarter this season. Novak to the air for the first time, has Grisella downfield, and there's a little contact and a flag.
Yeah. Never turned around, played through the man. Kind of an easy call there as Golden Bears take a shot down the field early. Take a look at this. Grisella running down, not much separation, and just taken down. They'll take the 15-yard penalty, but that'll move it into Frostburg territory. Early break for the Golden Bears here, and penalties have been a problem for the Bobcats all year, and that's a big one.
Joshua McTeer, the one on coverage for the Bobcats, and that was our first call from our officiating crew out of the Great American Conference this afternoon from referee Michael Gervais. So that will move the Golden Bears with a fresh set of downs into Bobcats territory, 1st and 10 on Frostburg State's 38-yard line.
See, the defensive ends will stand up every so often for Frostburg State.
And they'll hand it off to Burkhart again. He'll lower his shoulder for a few as the 5'11", 210 New Jersey native has 14 total touchdowns this season, 9 rushing, 5 receiving, and he can go to the next level, and he can also get some hard-earned yards like this one.
Yep. Pretty good job there by Frostburg State to stuff that, but still.
Yeah, they shed some blockers early.
Gain of 2.
So 2nd and 8 coming up here for Kutztown on their first possession of the game. This team averages 44 points a game, averages 436 total yards in offense here in 2025. They have been able to put up some points, especially here in this postseason. They'll go to the ground again. Burkhart, next level, inside the 20, cut back, and he's down at the 15. A big run by Steven Burkhart.
Well, they're just hammering that side of the line. Look at the cutback by Burkhart. Gets into the secondary, and really a touchdown-saving tackle there by their fine safety, Wylan Herrick.
Herrick definitely has saved that one from going to 6, but a mighty fine offensive start here for the Golden Bears, primarily on the ground, aided with the penalty. And as you said, penalties have plagued the Bobcats, and that's something Coach Wagner said to us this week. Have to clean that up coming into this game, and that was a critical one in that lone passing attempt here on this opening drive. In the red zone, Golden Bears. Handoff. Maxwell, he cuts it up, and he's down to the 5-yard line.
Boy, he has really become a weapon in the running game. Luke Maxwell comes in motion. Novak hands it to him, and he beats the first hit all the time. And 1st and goal for the Golden Bears. Great start
Luke
for
Maxwell,
the Golden Bears offensively.
Redshirt sophomore listed as a tight end if you're keeping score at home, but he does a lot on the ground. And as Mike just said, has become a bigger and bigger force there with the pre-snap motion as well. Goal to go. Keeper, Novak for 6, touchdown, Kutztown.
Great fake to Steven Burkhart. Everybody went with him, including me. And Novak steps in the end zone pretty easily here, untouched. The fake there, pulls it back, calls his own number, and Judd with another touchdown.
Pretty much a carbon copy of a play we saw last week, Mike, on the other end of this university field at Andre Reed Stadium. So now the extra point attempt. Nate Millard on to hold for the Golden Bears. Ryan Benjamin, the snapper, and the kick by Will Smith is up, and it is good. And the Kutztown University Golden Bears strike first here in our NCAA Division II quarterfinal. Just a couple of minutes in, started all the way back on their own 37-yard line, and they went 6 plays for 63 yards and the score. And now with 11:53 to go in the opening period, it's 7-0 Kutztown, Mike. And if you're 13-0, you're the top seed in the region, you're the 3rd-ranked team in the country. That is the opening declarative statement you'd like to make with the upset-minded Bobcats today.
And that's what they've done. It's usually been on the defensive side of the ball. They usually defer and put their defense on the field and get a shutdown. This time it's the offense just inserting their will. And up front right now, the offensive line for Kutztown dominating the defensive line early on here of Frostburg State.
A battle in the trenches, certainly something to watch as this game goes along. It's football weather here in Berks County, so running the football and big men football will become key as we had right around 35-degree game time temperature, real feel in the high 20s, and a low short kick here around the 17 returned here by the Bobcats. They can be explosive on special teams, Mike, but good tackle there around the 25-yard line to keep that one from going the distance, but still have to keep an eye for Osmond Fanny there out of Gaithersburg, Maryland.
Yeah, he had a return for a touchdown in the regular season matchup with California. So good starting position for the Bobcats. We'll take a look at their fine quarterback, Jordan Brooks, who's 29 for 48 during the playoffs.
Has 17 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, missed a few games, battling some injuries, 10 games played this year, but the redshirt sophomore QB1 back here for the Bobcats in the quarterfinals. And a handoff for the first time. That one goes for a couple of yards here as they can run the ball, but they also can pass the ball. They're the 19th scoring offense in all of Division II football as we take a look at this first play from scrimmage, Mike.
Yeah, this is KJ Smothers, 108 103 carries, 901 yards, 10 touchdowns. And they also have Owen Doyle, who Coach Clemens was very impressed with, who wears number 2. But Smothers in there to start.
Smothers averages about 5 yards a touch here on the ground. To the air for the first time. Screen. Caught. Across the 35. Up the middle. More plays for the Bobcats. Yards after the catch inside the 25. Still going. Frostburg State inside the 10 and caught down at the 4. An impressive catch and run for Frostburg State here on the second play for them today offensively.
Just a great call here by the offensive coordinator as Kutztown's coming after and Brooks just dumps it off and it Smothers the rest of the way, and a good answer by the Bobcats here as both offenses in full gear early on here.
I said that was a declarative statement by Kutztown, and that is an emphatic response here by the Bobcats. Now 1st and goal down on Kutztown's 3-yard line.
Doyle in now, Tyler.
Doyle. 12 touchdowns here in 2025. He's looking for his 13th here on this 1st and goal play. Handoff, he gets it, and he's down right around the 1. Pyle's still going, but I think they'll say he's down just shy of the goal line. And that'll bring up 2nd and goal. And you mentioned a great play call. 4th season for offensive coordinator Trevor Miller here, Mike, for Frostburg State. And I can't remember. That's one of the most explosive plays we've seen here at home go against Kutztown.
Yeah, it was a great call against the pressure, and Kutztown's going to bring the pressure all day. But you have Jordan Brooks, they call him a game manager, but he's a winner too, and he agrees a great call, great execution.
KU's only allowed 10 points in the first quarter all season. Frostburg looking to get 6 right here. Handoff. And he is short. KU's defense stands tall again. Maybe even lost a yard there, Mike, back to this 2-yard line. And that'll bring up 3rd down. We'll take a look as they try to go a little different formation and handoff, but it was not fooling the Golden Bears.
Yeah, Joey Quinter just checked in, but coming off Eden Johnson with the big stop. Number 3.
The redshirt junior linebacker stepping up out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, untouched, plug in that end. So now it's back on the 2-yard line here on 3rd and goal for the Bobcats. Handoff again, and this time they are waiting the signal. Bobcats think they have a touchdown. The officials, no signal yet. And they'll say he is just shy of the goal line. That'll bring up a 4th and goal.
4th and inches. What a stop there at the goal line.
Can you get any closer with that tip of the football?
You can't. And now you have to.
Look at this one, Mike. As close as you can get.
He tried to broke it back, and he's just stacked up. As somebody thought they were in the end zone, but they'll go for it here. Of course, 4th and inches. Literally inches.
As close as you can get here on University Field. A critical play here in the early going of the opening quarter. Handoff. And that one is in for a touchdown. Frostburg State capitalizes here on their opening possession.
Good response by the Bobcats. And finally, after knocking on the door, it's Smothers who forced his way in there for the touchdown.
Fell forward here, take another look. And initially held up, but like you said, blades of grass were between that football and the end zone. And with 8 minutes to go here in the opening quarter, they do find pay dirt for the first time after the big play for the catch and run. Now on for the extra point is Harrison Fritz. And that kick is blocked.
And they've had several block this year, and then he
kicks
kicked
it
the
away.
ball out. That's going to be a penalty.
And you're trying to avoid points, and we'll have to see what the penalty is. Another one that will plague them, and you are right, Mike. They have had plentiful kicks blocked. Special teams was a big topic in our call with both coaches this week, and we'll see what our crew here decides on this one. And unsure, Mike, how that can be assessed on the kickoff, I presume.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the penalty gets declined. I would presume Frostburg State, with how many times they've been in that scenario, knows what the exit route is, and it's kicking the ball out of play. Because by rule, it is automatically declined. It is no good.
Right.
So the play stands, no penalty enforced, and the score remains 7-6. And Mike, we've had 7 minutes into this quarterfinal, and a lot's happened.
A lot's happened, and both offenses right now are a little bit a step ahead of the defense. Almost a great goal line. Well, a goal line stand there for the Golden Bears.
Yeah.
They had it converted on 4th down, but that's a win for Frostburg State that they answered. Because we've seen so many teams come in here and get buried in the first quarter after that.
Yep.
They answer with that great screen call, and they missed the extra point. I didn't know if we got who blocked that extra point. They came right up the middle. And so now the Golden Bear offense
go back out. And this is a team, Mike, they could put up points, like I said, won 56-19 last week against Assumption, as this kickoff is going to go through the back of the end zone for a touchback. But Frostburg State can put up the points as well. They've played some low-scoring games. Last week, it was a 23-21 game against Cal U that went down to the wire. It was a go-ahead field goal that fell short by the Vulcans in the closing minutes that allowed Frostburg State to hold on to win that one. But right now, it has been 2 possessions by either team, 2 explosive offensive performances, and it's a 1-point lead for the Golden Bears via that blocked extra point. So if you're just tuning in here on ESPN Plus, well, you missed a lot. But settle in, we have a good one here on tap, as it is a tight contest right out of the gate, and exactly what you would expect here with 8 teams left in Division II vying for a national championship.
Jaden Stewart in there, Tyler, making his first appearance in the national quarterfinal here.
Fake the handoff. Novak throws, and that is at the sideline, incomplete. I think Trevor Amorum, the intended target, stepped out of bounds prior to catching it anyway.
We have an injury there down. Is that Noah
Crisella comes up, kind of a little limping for him, as he will walk off, at least now stop for a moment, and be met by the medical staff in the middle of the field.
Jamie and Brian will check in for him, number 9. I think that was a non-contact injury for Noah, too.
And now he's being helped off the field there, as we see. So that'll go to 2nd and 10 here for the Golden Bears. You mentioned Jaden Stewart, the other part of that 1-2 combo in the backfield for the Golden Bears, battling the injury bug here in 2025, averaging just under 10 yards a carry, 10 touchdowns this season, including a big 63-yard scamper last week in that win against the Greyhounds of Assumption. But the redshirt junior is always able to make a quick impact in games that he can play. And Coach Clements talked to us this week, said he was very happy to see Stewart back in the lineup last week. And they'll give it to him here this time. Stewart, his first carry of the day, cut back, spin move, couple of big hits in that second level, but he'll roll all the way for about a 9-yard pickup, and that'll bring up 3rd and short.
Yeah, it's good to see Jaden, always positive carries there, and always a chance to go all the way. Little seam there, and then spins out, and good pursuit there by the Bobcat defense, who have to feel a little invigorated after the offense. We talk about complementary football. That's exactly what the offense for Frostburg State did there, answering that first drive by Kutztown with a drive of their own.
3rd and inches here for the Golden Bears, who have converted 3rd downs 54% of the time this season. And they'll hand off. Burkhardt, and he's got a first down, and still moving across the 40-yard line before he's brought down by a couple of Bobcats there. But it will move the chains for the Golden Bears, but a nice tackle in there in that second level. Amari Johnson, the defensive back from Upper Marlboro, Maryland, making this play here, but a good 3rd down run.
Good job using the motion there with Preston to get somebody out of the box there and run it up the middle then.
Golden Bears moving here on their 2nd possession of the day. Fresh set of downs up on their own 41-yard line, and they're doing a lot of this through the ground, and that's what they did a lot last week, including 3 rushing scores from Judd Novak. Here's Novak looking to pass, near sideline to Bryant, and some hand fighting there on the near sideline with Osmond Fanny, the redshirt freshman defensive back, and that'll fall incomplete. So 2nd down coming up here for Kutztown.
Looks like the Golden Bears feel they have a little bit of an advantage against this defensive secondary. Frostburg throwing the ball down the field more than we've seen, at least in the last few weeks. Trying to back shoulder throw there to Jamie and Bryant, but just could not connect.
Trips left this time for KU. And they'll hand it off. Stewart trying to cut back, but met in that hole by the Bobcats defense. And he's brought down right at the line of scrimmage. A couple of big hits there for Frostburg State.
That was number 5, came up and delivered the hit. Carter Mazalewski, who had 56 tackles on the season. So a 3rd and long here for the Golden Bears. And Tyler, this is a day of a lot of key plays. And for Frostburg State, they want to get off the field here and force a 3, after allowing 1 first down, not allowing another.
And that will have some movement. I don't know if the Bobcats did enough to go over the line. That might have drawn the false start.
Like a neutral zone infraction.
I think Kutztown was trying to draw that penalty, but I think they were able to jump back. The Bobcats will have to wait and see what the call is. There's a conversation by a couple of our officials out of the Great American Conference. Larry Brown's our umpire. Mason Hussman's the head line judge. Jacob Slaughter is the line judge. The side judge is Alexander Dechari. The field judge, Jason Pugh. Tyson Tibbs is the back judge, and Chris Abadi is our center judge this afternoon. And our referee, Michael Gervais, gives us the call, and it is offsides there. A little neutral zone movement by the Bobcats. So that'll make this 3rd down a little bit easier.
Yeah,
here,
cuts it
Mike.
in half. Jalen Boyd, defined middle linebacker.
Really the leader of this defense, Jalen Boyd, co-leads the team in tackles, 60 of those coming into today. The senior out of Maryland trying to jumpstart that snap count.
Coming up on 5:24 to go in the first quarter. It's been a exciting one, an entertaining game to watch.
3rd and 5 here for Kutztown. And they jumped again on 3rd down here. The Bobcats penalties, Mike, early going was a conversation early in the week. It was a conversation earlier in our broadcast, and it is starting to play itself out here with the 2nd consecutive neutral zone infraction by the Bobcats, and that'll be enough to move the chains.
Yeah, that was occurred.
And that's just backbreaking. Like you said, the crowd here, great crowd making the trip from Maryland here for the Bobcats, and they were excited. The sideline was in it. Can we force a short drive by the Golden Bears here? And then self-inflicted penalties now going to extend this drive and push Kutztown all the way into Frostburg State territory. Novak to pass on 1st down. Good pocket. Maxwell open space. Across the 30-yard line, and he's brought down there, but a big play through the air on 1st down before Marquise Alsop makes the tackle.
This what makes Judge so good as he looks off his primary receiver, takes a look downtown, then he checks downfield, and then checks it down to Maxwell there in the flat, and then Luke, as usual, delivers some pain on the end of the run.
230 pounds is Maxwell out of Estelle Manor, New Jersey. I said that's why he's listed as a tight end. He's got that big frame, but he has a lot of athleticism in his skill set as well. So another 1st down here after the big catch and run for Kutztown. Novak fakes the handoff, pass again. Maxwell open inside the 10, lowers the shoulder to the 5. And another Kutztown pickup through the air with Luke Maxwell.
Yeah, he just snuck out there and nobody went with him, and Judd just took it. He goes out there to the open. They come in for a blitz, and they beat the blitz off the edge and just throw it out to him.
And again, that was Alsop out there for the Bobcats. So now a 1st and goal to go down at the 5-yard line for Kutztown, as Luke Maxwell is making his presence known here in the early going of this one. And now KU looking to get their 2nd consecutive touchdown to start this afternoon's contest. Preston in motion, fake it to him. Stewart gets it, and he's in to pay dirt. Jaden Stewart with another score here in the playoffs.
And really the 2nd untouched into the end zone. Stewart's not touched here either, and Billy Everett out there clears out the side along with Ryan Chernecki, and Maxwell was lined up out there too, and 2 untouched touchdowns for the Golden Bears.
And 2 big blocks there by a pair of redshirt senior linemen Mike talked about the battle of the trenches earlier. Coming into play here in this ground game is moving the football for the Golden Bears. And the kick from Will Smith is up, and it is good. And with 3:22 to go in the opening quarter, Kutztown now extending their lead to 14-6 with another great drive for Kutztown. 8 plays, 75 yards, Mike, to make this a 8-point advantage for the host Golden Bears, as this battle of 2 top 25 teams in the latest coaches poll has certainly provided some entertainment for the fans here in Berks County today. And now, like you said, great response last time, explosive plays by the Bobcats offensively. I think this drive here becomes even more important after seeing what KU has done on their first 2 possessions.
And this has been the personality of the Kutztown defense to come out and do the shutdown and get the ball back to the offense. And what we've seen all year, Tyler, is with Kutztown is they pile up the points once they get a lead. And this is crucial, I think, for the Golden Bears defense to come out and get a shutdown right here.
KU has already amassed 69 yards on the ground here today. They had, what, several hundred of those last week.
Yeah, I think
355 on the ground for the Golden Bears. Here's a kick. Smith. This will be returnable about the 12-yard line from the Bobcats. And they got some speed across the 30 and the 40.
There's the answer.
Across midfield. The answer inside the 30. And that's a big play on special teams for the Frostburg State Bobcats, the second one in a row, with a big explosive play in the kick return game.
Well, we talked to Coach Clemens, and he talked about that they are dangerous in the kicking game and special teams, that they have some people that can make things happen. And we've seen it now on 2 returns, really, and that's a big answer at the 30-yard line. So now the Kutztown defense all year is when teams have got to this part of the field, they get tougher.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens. We got number 23 in there at running back.
That was Paul Umstead, by the way, with the return there, down all the way to the 30-yard line to be precise. 1st and 10 for this Bobcats offense.
And now the Kutztown jumps into the neutral zone.
False start, actually,
false start.
going to be the call here for the Bobcats. So that'll back them up. As you mentioned, a new ball carrier in the game, Landon Alexander, the junior out of Aliquippa, Pennsylvania, was to the right of Brooks there on that initial formation. As this team continues to be plagued by penalties, the Bobcats, that's the 4th one on them here so far, and we still have 3:14 to go in the opening quarter. So now a 1st and 15 behind the sticks at the 35-yard line are the Bobcats on their second possession of the day. Handoff, Alexander, cut back, slipped, and maybe fights for a couple extra yards, trying to make things a little bit better. Good pursuit there by Freddie Redder off the defensive end. The redshirt junior out of Quakertown, Pennsylvania, has had quite the playoffs himself. Mike, take a look at this one.
Yeah, he did slip, but he did a good job to maintain his balance and at least fall forward. And that's exactly what he did, but good job there. This offensive line for Frostburg State, a few all-conference selections along it. They're a solid offensive line.
Redder with 8 tackles for loss this season coming into today. 2nd and long. Pass far side and incomplete. As the Frostburg State sideline looking for a penalty marker, none coming, as they were looking to get it over to the intended target, Javon Gilliard, one of their leading receivers, the senior out of Leesburg, Virginia.
He's the deep threat. He scored a big touchdown against Shepherd where it was just a go route, and they just threw it out to him, and he ran and caught it. So now a 3rd and long here, 3rd and 12. Let's see if Frostburg State goes back to that screen that was so successful on the first drive.
Frostburg State, 42% 3rd down conversions this season. KU showing pressure. They bring it. Brooks steps up, and it is incomplete. Target falls down, and that'll force a 4th down decision as they try to get it over to Ray Adams there, the intended target. Looking at the replay, Mike.
Yeah, we had a little bit of snow here earlier this week. You wonder if this turf is a little bit slippery now. We've seen a few players slip. 4th down. Looks like Frostburg State's going to go here.
They will. They've attempted 28 4th down conversions this season. have converted 13 of them here in 2025. This one, they need 12 yards.
Yeah, this might be a deep ball here, try to draw a penalty.
3 wide outs. Brooks to pass, steps up. Deep ball, they got a man, caught. Touchdown, Frostburg State. 4th down, go for it. Give them 6.
Wow, what execution and what a throw by Jordan Brooks on the line. And now they're talking about it, whether they're going to mark him short. He did hit the pylon.
And they are going to not give them the score. They'll say he stepped out at the 2, so mark that a 1st and goal instead of 6 points on the board for the Bobcats.
Some confusion here. Some players running on the field, off the field. Another short situation here for Frostburg State, and another big conversion by this quarterback, Jordan Brooks.
2 big plays through the air have gotten them in goal-to-go situations. First one resulted in a touchdown on 4th and goal. They look for another trip to pay dirt here. Handoff, and that one will give them 6. Touchdown, Bobcats.
Another answer by the Bobcats.
Smothers in there, and he'll run that in for the short yardage touchdown. As we take a look at this replay here, a couple of late signals coming in for Frostburg State. And a handoff here, and good lead blockers, and just 2 Golden Bears caught up there, and they were able to seal the end. Tyrell Ford unable to make a move on that one, and that'll give them 6 more. So now the extra point here, Harrison Fritz, his first attempt was blocked. The second one is up, and it is good. And with 1:53 to go in the opening quarter, it is back to a 1-point game. Kutztown 14, Frostburg State 13. So both teams, Mike, with opening possession touchdowns, both teams with touchdowns on their second possessions of the game, and we may be on our way for an offensive shootout, at least the way things are looking here through the first 13 minutes here in Kutztown.
13 points up on the board for Frostburg State in the first quarter, coming in here 10 all season by the Golden Bears. This Jordan Brooks is very impressive, and what a call again by the offense coordinator to get Gilliard out there open, running down the sidelines to set up the touchdown.
And Mike, you know what kind of jogs my memory when we talked with head coach Eric Wagoner this week? He said Brooks will throw some interceptions. The stats show that, but he's made some impressive throws on 3rd down. That one was on 4th down, but that's big time playmaking ability when you need it the most. Keeping that drive alive, needed 12 yards to keep the chains moving. Got more than that into the goal-to-go situation. And now here with a minute 53, both teams' offenses have settled in quickly here in the national quarterfinals.
Yeah, what defense is going to stand up here? Set up by the big kickoff return there.
And the kick is away there. Tyler Cook on the kick off there. And that one dropped and picked up. Preston, and he's tripped up right around the 24-yard line. Good tackle there on coverage for Frostburg State. Wyland Herrick there, keeping Preston from trying to break that one for a bigger return. So that'll put Kutztown's offense 1st and 10 on their own 24-yard line. And the Golden Bears now 2 touchdown drives in their first 2 possessions of the day. Try to go 3 for 3 here to start, as they have done a lot on the ground. And this is a team that likes to have long, sustained drives. Last week, they put up 50-plus points, Mike, but did it on just 46 plays.
Yeah.
A little uncharacteristic for Kutztown. They'll see if they can settle in more of what they normally do here as this game progresses. Burkhart, pre-snap motion. Novak, the keeper, up the middle. And he'll brought down around the 37-yard line, and a little miscommunication there by the Bobcats defensively. Marquise Alsup with the tackle.
Yeah, Judd just empties the backfield and just calls his own number right up the middle. He scored on a touchdown on a similar play last week against Assumption.
He had a game-high 125 yards last year, including a season-high 78-yard scamper on a designed QB draw like that last week, Mike, to your very point. That was enough for a first down. Now here, new set of downs, handoff, and that'll be stuffed up after a short gain, and then they throw him down. And no penalty marker, but it happens right in front of the referee. Burkhart fired up on the ground.
Yeah.
And, Mike, those were things we saw on film. Those were things we talked about with both coaches. And you have to wonder, as you take a look at this replay, this officiating crew has to keep this in mind before things get even further along here.
Well, there's no need for this. They have him stop, the whistle's blown, and then he's thrown to the ground. I mean, there's no reason for that. You put yourself in the game here.
Yeah.
It's a 14-13 game, and that should have drawn a flag as far as I'm concerned.
Coach Clements upset with the non-call as we have 19 seconds left, 7 seconds difference between the play and game clock, so there will be one more snap here in the opening quarter. Both crowds in it now after that last sequence. Handoff. And a fired up Burkhart, and we have a whistle and a penalty marker in the middle of the field, and we have a false start here. And I think that's going to be on Kutztown.
Yeah. That was stored on that carry as they pulled Steven
Burkhart
Burkhart off
yep.
just to calm him down.
Good call there, Mike. Stort stepped in. We'll take a look at the replay here. Amorum in motion. I didn't really see an early thing there. Maybe it was the motion. He didn't get set.
Yeah.
Mike, we don't get to hear exactly from our referee, but that might have been because I didn't see any movement from our linemen. But the movement of the clock will take us to triple zeros, and a action-packed first 15 minutes are in the books. After one quarter of play, it's Kutztown 14, Frostburg State 13. We'll step aside. You're watching the NCAA Division II football quarterfinals on ESPN+. Take a look at the first quarter, Mike. A lot to show you from those first 15 minutes.
Opening drive, Judd Novak walks in to give Kutztown a 7-0 lead. And then Frostburg State answers back. KJ Smothers runs in the end zone on a fourth down.
Yeah.
The extra point was blocked to make it 7-6. And here is the block that we can see who blocked it up the middle right there.
Couple of big guys made a good rush there for them. I think that was
Kylie Butler. And then Kutztown would answer back with a Jaden Stewart touchdown after a long drive. Luke Maxwell has been featured. And to make it 14-6. And then after a long return, Smothers with his second run to make it 14-13. So we start the second quarter. Back to Tyler.
Back to the action here on the field, and that pass is incomplete on first down, trying to connect with Maxwell, who had a big first quarter there, a couple of receptions for him, and that'll bring up
third and long
here, 3rd and 14 to be precise, as Kutztown is 1 for 1 on third downs today, and it looks like initially head coach Jim Clements will keep his offense out on the field.
It's only third. Right,
yes, third down, correction.
Yeah, the box.
With the penalty, and then we change quarters. So you're right, offense on 3rd and long here. 4 wideouts here for the Golden Bears. Sun makes an appearance here in our quarterfinal game. Novak, pass, far side, caught, and immediately pushed out of bounds. He connects with Jamian Bryant, the redshirt junior out of New Jersey.
Short of the first down, so Nate Millard will come on and punt it as Jamie had to come back and get that ball.
Good job by the Bobcats to know where the sticks are, allow them to just get that comeback route, but nothing more. So we will see Nate Millard on to punt for the first time today. The Birdsboro, Pennsylvania native averages 41 yards a punt here this season.
Nobody back for Frostburg State. They're bringing everybody.
They do a lot of explosive things on special teams. Some good, some bad. Play clock at 3. And they will take the delay of game, will the Golden Bears.
Trying to draw them off. So you have a lot of guys playing on special teams now with the 58-man roster who aren't typically out there. So
I think that was designed by KU to allow Millard to have a little bit more room to try to pin inside the 20, Mike. I think, hey, like you said, you've seen them draw themselves offsides a couple of times, the Bobcats. Millard has 9 punts where he's pinned opponents inside the 20 this season.
Now they change back. They put Landon Alexander back deep now.
Yep, the Aliquippa native transfer from Albany. We saw him in the running game, a little high snap. Millard handles it, decent punt. Alexander will let that go. It'll go sideways, right around the 20. Will depend on the spot, and they will put it at the 19. So give him his 10th inside the 20 for Nate Millard in the first punt of the day for KU.
We haven't seen much of Owen Doyle in this game. Their leading rusher with 1,023 yards. It's been all KJ Smothers so far, and he's got 2 touchdowns.
Yep. Just 6 yards for Smothers, 2 touchdowns, though, in those goal-to-go situations. Doyle with 2 carries, Alexander with 1 touch here so far today. It's been Brooks and the passing game. He's 2 for 4, 100 yards on the ground, including that 1 long scamper, 69 yards. Now they're backed up, 1st and 10 on their own 19. Handoff. And that one is a good first down pickup on the ground there for them. I believe that is Doyle, Mike.
Yeah, Doyle in there. He's strong. He bench presses 600 pounds. Strong runner.
5'11", 200 pounds out of Denton, Maryland. Over 1,000 yards rushing coming into today here this season.
A lot of players from the state of Maryland on this Frostburg State team who, of course, made the transition from Division III to Division II.
Not that long ago, just back in 2019. And this team is already here in the NCAA Division II quarterfinal round. Fake the handoff pass, near side, tipped. As they tried to get it out to the intended target, Ray Adams, but Kutztown was able to get a paw on that one. Yeah. Well done by Zach Perda.
Just gets his hands up and gets in the eyes of the receiver and also deflects it.
Perda, the redshirt sophomore out of Holy Redeemer High School, with the pass breakup, so that'll bring up a 3rd and 6 here for the Bobcats.
And here's where the Bobcats have been good so far this afternoon on their 3rd down calls and their conversions. And we have seen that Jordan Brooks has incredible confidence in his receiving core downfield.
Not afraid to make the throw. Good pocket pressure come in, and that one is caught.
What a catch.
Absolutely put it right where only his guy could get it, and his guy makes the catch, and that guy is Cruz Paul Umstead here on a key 3rd down pickup.
And that's what I mean. He throws it out there to his receivers, and he knows his receivers are going to make a play. He had a big second leading receiver on the team. He had a big game last week at Cal and made a great catch there for a big 3rd down conversion.
Justin Gonzalez, the freshman safety on the coverage there. He gets the start today for the 2nd straight week. Jasir Harden was out last week. He is in uniform this week. Missed some practice, though, but Coach Clemens told us he should be in the rotation today. Wasn't on that play. 1st down, handoff, Doyle, and he'll get a few before being swallowed up by the Golden Bears defense.
You know, this reminds me a lot of the Bloomsburg game in the regular season, Tyler, in terms of offensive efficiency against this Golden Bear defense. Now something to keep an eye on. Jordan Brooks seems to be limping a little bit with his left foot. He's really, I don't know if he turned his ankle on a play there or not, but keep an eye on that. He doesn't run the ball a lot, but seems to be favoring that right ankle.
So 2nd and 8 here. 2-yard pickup on that play. Fake the handoff. Brooks definitely does not look 100%, Mike, in the pocket on that
drop back. Now, he could not even plant. He threw that off his back foot.
Something to watch. KU defensive coordinator Eric Fargo, I'm sure, has taken notice. May want to bring the pressure as we look at this one. Focus on his backdrop here, folks. Just very limited mobility.
Yeah, he could not put any pressure on that.
And they'll call timeout. They gotta look at him.
Yeah, so Miles Fulton is the redshirt junior from Severn, Maryland.
And they've used quite a few quarterbacks here that have made some appearances as well. But you're right, Miles Fulton is the one on the depth chart. He's got 4 games he's appeared in. So we'll see if Brooks can stay in or if he's out for a little bit. But either way, this is a pivotal third down here on your own 38-yard line. A punt here would give KU presumably some decent field position. But either way, the health of Jordan Brooks is the top priority here for the Bobcats with 11:50 to go in the second quarter. And we did not see, Mike, where that could have happened.
He hasn't been – I haven't seen him really be hit so far. I don't know if he misstepped on one of the maybe on the play to Umstead down the conversion. But I noticed after that play in the huddle, he was really favoring that ankle. So we'll see here third down. The call here will tell you how healthy he is right now, and he's not healthy.
No, he's in the game, but he's limping clearly.
But he's got a lot of players to rely on out there.
So maybe a quick slant, see if you can get some yards after the catch.
Something he's getting the ball out of his hands quick.
Pass. He is going to step back, and his sack. Fumble, ball loose, Kutztown football. And, Mike, I think that's all you're doing with your play call.
Yeah.
Kutztown takes a big sudden change there. It would have been a punt situation instead. They take over on the forced fumble. Here's the replay. Coming off the near side, sack, ball loose. Good pressure coming there for Kutztown, and KU is able to recover the fumble as well. A very impressive performance there. That's LaRon Short who got his paw on the ball, and now KU will take over 1st and 10 on Frostburg State's 32-yard line.
Yeah, that is a big play in the game, and we'll have something to keep an eye on right here. 1-point lead, 11:43 to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, write this moment down as a key timestamp and sequence of events. Do KU and the Golden Bears offense try to go for a big momentum swinging play here, maybe a deep ball? They will pass it. Pressure. Novak will just have to throw it away. Good defense downfield. Just 2 or 3 options for Novak there. The Bobcats had them all covered well.
Of course, Noah Crisella got injured earlier in this game, so there's your top receiver not out there, and nobody on that side of the field at all as everybody was loaded to this side. So 2nd down and 10. Frostburg coming off their first defensive stop of the game, forcing a punt and trying to rally, playing that complimentary football after the fumble.
Tyron Henson is in at wideout here now with Crisella battling that injury as he is on with the training staff and trying to get that one worked on. Henson has a touchdown here in the playoffs. The transfer from Central Connecticut State. 2nd and 10. Handoff. Stewart, near side. Makes one man miss, and he will be spun down out of bounds right around the 20-yard line, and that'll be a good pickup on 2nd down. We'll have to see where the sticks are, and that will be enough to move them for a 1st down.
Jaden pops it out to the outside, and then a good play there by Herrick, Wyland Herrick, their safety.
Now at the 20-yard line, so in the red zone are the Golden Bears here again on their 3rd possession of the day, looking to go, 4th possession of the day, looking for their 3rd touchdown. Trips to the right side here for Judd Novak. Jaden Stewart still in the game. Play clock down to 1, and they just get the snap off in time. A little miscommunication on that pre-snap, but they are able to get a couple of positive yards there, and a lot of kind of calling out of maybe some Mike linebackers there by Novak, but they're able to at least get a few.
Yep. And Jalen Boyd, the fine middle linebacker there for the stop after a gain of a few yards for Stewart, is now Kutztown goes in that deliberate offensive style that bleeds the clock and makes the defense stay out there on the field.
Second and 7. Offensive coordinator Marcel Quarterman and his crew bringing in the signals. Longtime assistant here for Kutztown. Handoff, Stewart, cut back, 2nd level, and he's tripped up. Good tackle there in the linebacker position there for the Bobcats. And that's Wyland Herrick again, the senior out of Point of Rocks, Maryland. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 3.
3rd and 3, and this call will tell you what they're thinking about on 4th down. In field goal range, but the Golden Bears haven't really tried many field goals this year.
That is not in their MO here in 2025, Mike. Certainly just 2 for 5 in the field goal category this season. Need 3. Handoff, near side. Stewart has the corner, and then he's chased out of bounds inside the 5, but it will bring up a first and goal. We have a penalty marker down and a holding called on Kutztown, so scratch that earlier statement, as that will actually back Kutztown up, as that.
It's from the point of the foul, so it's actually behind the line of scrimmage.
And that'll back them up 10 yards from that point of the infraction. So now it'll bring up a 3rd and longer situation, so 3rd and 13 from the 23-yard line.
So now you might be in 2-down territory.
I would say it much more sways that way with the field position. Novak pass, near side caught. Preston fighting down around the 2. Good pass and catch. Preston just finds the soft spot in the coverage, catches, and runs.
Exactly, and Judd just delivers a fastball right here to Preston, and Lanique has really stepped up as the year goes on. The catch after the yards after the catch as he gets it inside down to the 2-yard line, 1st and goal for the Golden Bears.
Ball at the 1. 8:28 ticking down here in the opening half. The Golden Bears looking to extend their lead for the 2nd time here in this opening half. Now the I formation. Maxwell, who's done a few things well through the air, up man, gets the ball, and it is crossed the goal line for a touchdown. 1-yard rushing score for Kutztown via Luke Maxwell.
Yep. So they overcome the holding penalty. They convert on the 3rd and long, and then they go to Luke, who's had a good first half here statistically, now running the ball after a few receptions, and Kutztown extends their lead.
And well done there by the Bobcat defense, Mike. That is a patented move for the Golden Bears in the goal-to-go situation. They saw that on film. They had guys in position. Maxwell just able to fall forward and just get that tip of the football across the plane. Extra point attempt from Will Smith is true. And with 8:12 to go in the opening half, the Kutztown Golden Bears extend their lead to 21-13 after a 7-play drive, 32 yards, and they take advantage of the takeaway by their defense. And takeaways have been a key conversation point in these playoffs, Mike. We saw it last week in the win against Sumption, the week before in the big win against Bentley. Kutztown actually fumbled the ball twice, but their defense was able to maximize some of their turnovers. Coach Clemens said, again, have to be on the right side of this category this week, and so far that's working in their favor.
Yeah, and I think another thing is they want to tighten up these special teams, because Frostburg State's answered with 2 big returns, one all the way to the 30-yard line. And again, with the limited 58-man roster, you do have some players playing on special teams who haven't necessarily played on special teams all year.
Yeah, especially in Kutztown's side, that's something that Coach Clements highlighted for us in this going into the tournament, is some guys were still settling in their special teams assignments. Other teams, not as much of a learning curve depending on their personnel throughout the year. Here's this kick. What do they do here? And they get one that will be returned right around the goal line here. Frostburg State return, reverse up the middle, and a good tackle there by Kutztown, but a little trickery here for Frostburg State as they handed that one off to Osmond Fanny there, and everything is on the table when you're talking Frostburg State special teams.
They are fun to watch on special teams. They have a bag of tricks like you wouldn't believe, and Jack Noor is down, being attended to by the training staff. Here it is again as they go with the return here. Olmsted goes to number 38.
Yep, Fanny.
Fanny, who had the big return, as I mentioned, in the regular season game against Cal.
Derek Prather in his 4th season with the Bobcats, the special teams coordinator for the Frostburg State team, the kind of maestro of this unit. So good to see that the injured player is up under his own power. As Mike said, that is Jack Knorr. Hope he is okay.
Out of Woodstown, New Jersey, Woodstown High School in Piles Grove, New Jersey. There's the clock tower here at Kutztown University, telling you we're early in the afternoon, but we've seen a lot of football in the first 54 minutes.
Yeah.
On the clock there.
Not even to the midpoint of the second quarter yet, and there is a lot happening here. A 21-13 game for now. Bobcats looking to respond. Double coverage downfield, and it's intercepted.
Nope.
In and out of the hands of the intended target. Wow, right in the breadbasket. That might have been knocked away by Cruz Paul Umstead. Mike, look at the replay here. That was almost looking like Ford was the intended target.
Yeah, he was on the outside. And
Paul
Brooks,
Umstead was forced to kind of have to
become
be
defensive
defense,
back. Yeah. Brooks looked better on that. Looked like he was able to plant his foot and deliver that ball downfield.
So it could have been another takeaway, and I thought that was right in his hands. Either way, it'll fall to the turf. Frostburg State breathes a sigh of relief, and they'll play second down. Keep it on the ground. And that's a good play call, as that'll go for at least 7 or 8 yards to Owen Doyle out of North Carolina High School, and they'll actually say they'll give him 10 on that one, if not more, after he moved late in that play, and that'll give a fresh set of downs to the visiting Bobcats.
Smart call there to, first of all, protect Brooks and also run the ball to try to neutralize this defensive front who's really taken off now and coming after him a little bit. So that was a good call there, and benefit of first down, gets them a little bit away from their goal line too.
Up to the 29-yard line. Handoff, Doyle. And we will say Brooks is still in there, Mike, but still moving gingerly.
Yeah, he did that throw. He was able to let it go, but he is definitely favoring that right ankle.
And that might mean they're favoring Owen Doyle as you see his run there, trying to find some open space, maybe 2 yards for him on that first down. And that is all they will give him for a 2nd and 8 coming up here.
Yep.
Brooks, known for his passing ability as well. We'll have to see how that is impacting the passing game overall as this one moves along. Handoff. And that one is stuffed out well, maybe for a 1-yard loss. Was that Gilliard in the backfield?
Yeah,
Mike?
they moved Gilliard in the backfield just to give him a different look there. They're definitely, it appears to be protecting Jordan Brooks here, at least on this series. We'll see. Third down's been his money down today, though.
First rush of the season for Gilliard. As you said, they might be going to a part of the playbook they haven't used much here. 3rd and 9 here on the 30-yard line.
That may have been Brett Patterson in there, number 32.
Pressure coming, and he's sacked.
Yeah.
Big loss on 3rd down. And not only his ability to step into throws, Mike, but his ability to evade pressure impacted by what's ever plaguing him and that lower body injury.
Eden Johnson and Freddie Redder, as you see, as Jordan tries to step up here, he really can't. I'm sure if he was 100%, he'd be able to escape that, but Freddie Redder brings him down. Another takedown by Freddie Redder. And Eden Johnson from the linebacker position. Boy, has his game elevated with each week. And we have a new returner in there for Kutztown because Priscilla is hurt. This is Trey Hamlin, the third.
And the punt is blocked. Caught. Returned inside the 20, and another special teams blunder by the Bobcats helped the Golden Bears here. A big block. Quentin Potts is the one who catches it, and we'll see if we can get who blocked on that one, Mike. But another special teams play that does not help their efforts.
Well, that was, I think the punt, I don't know if they hit it. I can't tell.
Blocked or off the end of his toe that went backwards.
And it deflected off of one of the players rushing. I don't think they actually blocked it.
We might, maybe if we get a chance to look at it again here quickly, that's the back of the return. We might have to get another angle here before. Here's this one. Yeah, they didn't block it.
No, it was like off the side of his foot.
That happens, Mike. I had an illustrious one season as a punter. That happens.
Yep, sure does.
Might have had more than that. That run up the middle for a couple of yards and another kind of big sudden change. Now we have some extracurriculars down near the 5-yard line.
This is really
this is the third instance without a penalty marker.
Yeah, this is really where the players have to show their composure here and just play the whistle and then walk away, because you're going to hurt your team one way or the other. And they brought the hammer in right now. Steven Burkhardt, who went for 5 yards there on first down, and they're trying to extend this lead. This is what we've seen Kutztown do time and time again this year, is just pile on the points.
Coach Wagoneer said you cannot give them extra possessions. They've done that here so far in the opening half on a couple of occasions. KU trying to take advantage again, and a whistle as we have timeout called by Kutztown. Coach Jim Clements running down to call his first timeout of the opening half here with 4:18 to go. So a sideways punt, maybe off the toe, actually goes KU's favor. That's why I almost said it was away, because there was no contact.
Yep.
And then Pouts was able to get that, return it for a couple of yards. Well done there on the recovery. And now a short field once again. KU with the short field on the strip sack. Now a short field here via the special teams play. And now the Golden Bears looking to tack on some more points with 21-13 to go. And you have to think, Mike, going back to this extracurricular stuff, that had to have been a focal point for the Golden Bears. I know it was in our conversation about trying to stay above that. And right now, the Bobcats are pulling them into that.
Yeah. Emotions are running high. It's a big, high-stakes game. You're in the national quarterfinal trying to go to the Final Four. So emotions are running high, but you just can't take a penalty just by retaliating to something. You have to walk away. You have to be better than it. And sometimes it's difficult, but
Frostburg State with 4 penalties, KU with 3 here so far. 2nd and 5 out of the Golden Bear timeout. Handoff, Preston, reverse, near side, Amorum, and he is down at the 1. Ryan Chernecki was the lead blocker for the Golden Bears there, but one Bobcat was able to get the shoulder on Amorum on the explosive end around.
Here, nice wrinkle here, Preston. Everybody goes with Preston and Amorum on the reverse, and now it's Maxwell and Campagna time as 46 and 45 check in.
Yes, down to the 1 on the goal to go. And as you said, Campagna, another tight end listed there for the Golden Bears.
Asa Kovar is in there also, number 84.
So this is the big formation. Maxwell, the up man here for the Golden Bears. And they'll give it to him, and it's stuffed by the Bobcats. Second effort is good enough. Touchdown, Kutztown.
Yeah, the first effort's not enough for to bring Maxwell down. You need everybody to come. And
big man football, we said, was going to be a thing of the day, and we've seen it numerous goal-to-go situations here. First effort, no, and then he's just navigating his way forward, extends the football, and it's a 1-yard rushing score for Luke Maxwell as Kutztown takes advantage of another short field situation. And they are able to move the ball forward now for a 27-13 lead. 3 plays, 17 yards. Extra point is good to make it 28-13 with 3:36 to go in the opening half. And Luke Maxwell is having himself a day. 3 rushes now, 2 rushing touchdowns, 13 yards on the ground, to go along with 2 catches for 44 yards, Mike. It might be the Luke Maxwell quarterfinal game when it's all said and done.
Yep. He's become, Coach Clements told us early in the year, he's like our Swiss Army knife.
Yep. And as we've reached into the 1 o'clock hour here on ESPN Plus, there's a couple of other games going on here in the Division II Football Championship Tournament. So the 4 winners today will be reseeded by the NCAA committee, and then it'll be higher seed versus lower seed. 2 and 3 will face off. Albany State, Newberry, Ferris State, Minnesota State is 2 of the other 3 games today. Those games kicking off right now. And Harding will face UT Permian Basin at 2 p.m. coming up. That's all times Eastern, by the way, as we are past the 1 p.m. time here on the Eastern time zone at Kutztown. And it's a 15-point advantage here in this one as the Golden Bears look to get back to the national semifinals for the second time in school history.
You wonder what Kutztown's doing now with their kicks now to try to offset this explosive Frostburg State special teams.
This one's a little shorter, near side, and right at the sideline, caught around the 18 and then brought down right there. Not much of a return as they was caught by Cruz Paul Umstead and then KU right there to make the tackle. I think positioning it in that section, Mike,
change a quarterback.
Probably the way that you need to go. And Mike, as you said, good call on the offense coming out. We do see a change at the QB position. We mentioned numerous times how it was Brooks battling what appeared to be a lower body injury in the ankle area. And now we do see a change at quarterback as we'll see number 9, Miles Fulton, the redshirt junior out of Old Mill High School, 6'4", 210, coming into the game. His 5th appearance of the 2025 season. First play, a pass. Caught to his intended target, Ray Adams on the near side. And Fulton, who was 45 for 77 this season, 8 touchdowns, gets right to the passing game.
That's a good call there just to get him into the game. Easy pass, pitch and catch there. Good. He's got some experience. He's been in 4 games, of course. Yep. Frostburg State has run through the quarterback room this year with some injuries. So it's going to be his game for the time being until they can get maybe Brooks in for some treatment at halftime.
And that handoff is going to go ahead for a few yards. And, you know, Fulton obviously looks to be okay, Mike, but he's playing with a sizable leg brace
as well. He's got the brace on maybe just for extra support. You see some of the offensive linemen wear those leg braces without those knee braces without actually injuries, just give them support. So first down carry there, and Frostburg State would like to possess this ball till halftime and get in halftime, regroup a little bit.
They did win the toss and defer, so the Bobcats are in line to receive the second half kickoff. First down, play, run, and fall forward. And a good run there by Miles Fulton here on that first down. After Smothers moved the chains, they keep it on the ground with the QB, and a good 8-yard pickup there to bring up 2nd and 2.
Remember, this is a team that came back last week at Cal on the road. They've been on the road since November 8th as we come to the 2-minute timeout.
2 minutes to go in the opening half. Kutztown 28, Frostburg State 13. You're watching the NCAA Division II Football Championship quarterfinals here on ESPN+. Two minutes to go here in the opening half. The Division II quarterfinal. 15-point lead for Kutztown at the moment. Bobcats looking to chip away at that before heading into the locker room. Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining here in the closing minutes of this opening half. 2nd and 2. Handoff going nowhere. Smothers immediately brought down by a couple of Golden Bears defensively, including Brandon Strasser from the linebacker position. But I think it was ultimately Kyrie Butler and crew right up there up front.
Well, you wonder here on a 3rd down call, it's 3rd and short. What do they give Miles Fulton? He's had some experience running this offense. He's got these 2 running backs.
Yep.
Smothers in there right now. This is an interesting call here.
Frostburg State 1 for 5 on 3rd down so far today. They have had 2 4th down successful conversions. To the air. Pass caught, first down into KU territory as they do. Sidearm throw, Cruz Paul Umstead for another catch here today. Impressive for the wideout, his 35th catch of the season.
Yeah, he comes across the formation here, and Fulton delivers the pass. He catches it, takes a big hit. You wonder if they can take a deep shot here with Gilliard.
1 minute to go. They go look downfield, check down. And that's a good decision, brought down out of bounds by Lee Coleman right around the 43-yard line as Smothers caught that one out of the backfield.
Lee Coleman just had a great postseason after a steady regular season, but in the postseason, he's really played well.
2nd and 6 here as the clock stopped with the player going out of bounds out of the result of that last play. So they can keep that timeout in their back pocket and hold the clock still. Can the Bobcats offensively?
They want to possess the ball because they got the ball coming out in the third quarter. So they at least want to possess this ball till the half and avoid a turnover.
Pressure, pocket, pass, and that one is incomplete. They'll say it hit the turf, trying to get it to Adams, the intended target.
Good job, though, by Adams to try to sell it as he went down to get this ball. One of their top receivers.
Out of Woodbridge, Virginia.
3rd and long here, Tyler, with 51 seconds to go. Kutztown with 2 timeouts, right?
Yes, both teams with 2. 6 seconds remaining, 51 seconds, 6 yards needed here to move the chains on 3rd down.
KU may bring the pressure here.
4 down linemen. Pass far side. That'll be enough for a first down. No, out of bounds. They'll say he didn't get the full foot in. Incomplete. Javon Gilliard. Take a look at the replay here. He was out of bounds. Ran his route, ran out of real estate, and good call there on the far sideline as he stepped out as he was catching the football. So that'll be incomplete. 4th and 6. And it looks like Coach Wagoner will keep the offense on the field, and why not? You're 2 for 2 on 4th downs today.
Yeah, and the clock is stopped.
Correct.
So, and now he's going to take a timeout and talk about it, whether they want it. Of course, the last punt was shanked, too, so that has to go in the decision. And also, you want to keep this ball because Kutztown has timeouts remaining with 46 seconds to go. So if you don't make it here, Kutztown will get the ball back in pretty good position.
Yeah, and that has to be a decision. And they're not afraid to do some quick kicks, Mike. I mean, this is anything is on the board here on this 4th down situation. Sam Dominguez is the punter for Frostburg State. But I would say anything. They could do some fakes. They could do a couple of things, especially coming out of this timeout. So 1 remaining for Frostburg State. Ball at the 43-yard line for the 24th ranked Bobcats, who are enjoying their best season in school history. They had a hot start last year, kind of petered out at the end. We talked to their coach this week. He said that left a bad taste in their mouth and kind of fueled this season. Suffered just 2 losses all year, one of which was the Cal U that they avenged last week, and in both of those losses, it was down to the wire. So this has been an impressive Bobcats team throughout the duration of 2025. So they keep the offense on the field out of the timeout. At least that's what they're showing. They need 6 to keep this drive alive. Pass, near side, needs yards after the catch. Makes one man miss. He's got a first down and then some. And that is a good play call. Great execution by the Bobcats.
And now they're going. That's Amir Coles who made the first man miss. And now they're going. He'll down this one.
Up tempo, and they do. Spike at a little bit of delay there, but they got it to Amir Coles, the redshirt sophomore, who was able to move and shake in the open field. And that is his 15th reception of the season. So, 2nd and 10 after the clock on first down with the spike of the football. 32 seconds remaining here in the first half. 1 timeout in the back pocket for the Bobcats.
Yep. And you want to, if you're the Bobcats, you want to get a score here going into halftime. Oh, a false start. Right
Play
tackle.
continues, nearly intercepted. A little movement pre-snap. KU looking for a penalty marker, none coming.
Yeah.
And the crowd was also vocal on that one.
70 a little bit there. See, a little bit early there. 70 pulled out a little bit early.
Doug Prime, the senior out of Virginia, gets away with a little early start on that one. Either way, pass incomplete. So 3rd and 10 now. Ball on the 33-yard line for the Bobcats.
Got LaRon Short on top of you. That's why you might false start. And now Kyrie Butler's head over him.
Play clock at 5. Snap. Pressure. Open space. First down. And he'll slide right at the 19-yard line.
Now
Big play
they
by
have to
Fulton.
down it because the clock stopped to reset the
markers.
Yep.
So they'll have a little bit of there. Get on it quick, and then they do that. Well executed there. Just 2 seconds between restarting and spiking the football. So 18 seconds here after a big run by the redshirt junior quarterback Miles Fulton there on 3rd down.
He's a little bit out of breath too, I think, after that run and that slide. But now you have a chance here to take some shots, maybe to the sidelines, and maybe one shot into the end zone and then try a field goal.
That right now would be a 36-yarder. The longest this season by any kicker for the Bobcats is a 40-yarder. So we are on the fringe of comfortable field goal range for Frostburg State. 2nd and 10. Pass. Far side. Penalty marker down. And that one is brought down by a couple of.
And now another flag.
Yeah, we got a lot to sift out here. Cole's pass complete. But will that play stand? It was a good 2nd down pickup. We have a marker on the near side, and then we have a marker near the end at the point of the play. Here's a replay there as we take a look at a couple of Golden Bears that came in late for the tackle. We'll see what both markers are from our Great American Conference crew.
Yeah, they could be offsetting or something there at the end of the play by number 60 who came in.
And mind you, Mike, that play took a while to develop. There's 9 seconds left on the play clock unless they add 1 or 2. But right now it stands just 9 seconds remaining here, and we'll get our decision on the 2 markers that are down on the turf here on University Field.
We're assuming these may be offsetting penalties, but now they're heading up the field.
And there's conversations with both head coaches, so it's hard to tell who it's on, right? Who has the decision here.
Yeah, so
the one marker's at the 19-yard line. The other one was in the more of the middle of the field. But there's a lengthier discussion going on Frostburg State sideline, maybe on Kutztown. But I think the initial signals, Mike, will concur with your early conclusion that this is offsetting. Either way, lengthy decision and discussion. Coles was ineligible. Lost it down, and that is 3rd down. And they got to take the timeout to avoid the 10-second runoff because of the offensive penalty, Mike. Because the play clock was running.
Okay, so
or the game clock was running, excuse me.
Coles was not a eligible receiver.
No, because he was covered up on the line. So, by the way, the formation, he ran a route, is ineligible downfield, and ended up catching the football. So it's a loss of down, backs them up behind the sticks. This will make it 3rd down and 14. Ball back at the 24-yard line.
Question is,
3rd and 15, excuse me. Sorry,
this has to be a quick play here because there's only 9 seconds if you want to run your field goal
or
team.
use and you have to use the sideline.
I think they take a shot here to Gilliard on the far side. I really do.
No timeouts after burning the last one to avoid the clock runoff. To the air. Steps up. Pass. End zone. Tipped. Is it caught in? Toe tap. Touchdown, Frostburg State.
Wait a minute. They're talking about it. The one official had it for a touchdown. Let's see.
The first initial call, Mike, is a touchdown. It was tipped twice on the back of the end zone. And I think, Mike, we're going to have to go to video review here. 1 second on the clock. Let's look at the replay we have here. They're lining up for the extra point.
Yeah, they got it. That's a big score.
I was going to say, how is there not a review here? Coach Clemens calls a timeout. Let's look. We're looking at the replay on our feed, and we have tip, And it looks like he's in, Mike.
Tiptoed it in, right? Great job by Coles, who got penalized on the last play for illegal touch.
And this play is under further review here at Andre Reed Stadium. So 1 second on the clock. Key component here is the call on the field is a touchdown.
Right, so it has to be
enough to overturn that call.
Does he have possession first? The ball's tipped. Does he have possession inbounds, and was he inbounds when he had possession? So nothing to lose here. What a crazy first half.
And they will get the same angles we have here on ESPN Plus via our SFBN crew. Great crew we have here in Eastern Pennsylvania. And they'll take a look at some of the angles. I think the initial look we had, Mike, after the two tips in the back of the end zone, that it was caught with feet inbounds.
But what a great throw by Miles Fulton there.
He had time, and he stepped up in the pocket.
And just enough time. And let's look at this. We'll take a look at the whole play as he avoids, steps into it, and then really lets it go. He's got an impressive arm, throws it down there into the end zone. It's tipped.
Good coverage.
Coles is there off the tip, and he looks like a catch to me.
The question is the left part of that shoe, which we can't see here.
Yeah, now you look at that.
That one right there at the end looked like he's in, unless there's part of the cleat. But the initial tip by Austin Paul Umstead, Cole stays with it. And then what is going to be the decision? And this is a side angle, which we haven't seen yet, but that could be blocked,
this
too.
Might tell you, but there's a lot of action down there, a lot of feet down there, too. So I don't know if they have the chance to look at that, but this would be a big score for Frostburg State. They go back up top again. I think it's going to be very difficult to review the call on the field at this point because of where his feet are and where the ball is. He looks like he has possession.
Yeah, so keep track of the cleats, to your point, Mike. Coles 28 has the red and black right there.
Yeah, but that looks like the 1 foot is on the end line.
That's the question. Is the side of that left one on the far end line and out of bounds? Now, the official that called touchdown was here. He should have a good look.
Yeah.
There's a gap between the two defensive players for the Golden Bears. Here's another one. They'll just let that play through a little bit closer from our other end zone camera. Not really going to see anything there, so we'll wipe away. Again, take a look here. Good pressure, good angle here of the throw. Tip there. Coles, it's a little zoomed in, Mike, but again, you're not going to have that clear down. I don't think anybody really has an angle down that end line like that. But that again, Mike, is why I said the key component is the call on the field was a touchdown. There was a discussion, like you said. They kept with the one official's initial call of a touchdown. They were about to line up for the extra point until Kutztown called a timeout, wants to see the video review. I think they stay with the call on the field. It's going to stand, and that'll be a huge play with 1 second remaining here to really shift some momentum a bit here for the Bobcats before going into the locker room.
Right. It's been a very impressive offensive performance by the Bobcats, one way or the other, whether they put 19, 20 points on the board here in the first half. And the tip, and there's another look at it right there.
Yeah, without that side view, Mike, it's going to be difficult to make any determination of whether you were inbounds or out of bounds. I think you have to stay with the call on the field. It's an impressive athletic play, heads-up play by Amir Coles. Give him all the credit for staying with it. Good coverage downfield by Kutztown on the initial one. But again, give credit to Miles Fulton. Just like Jordan Brooks puts the ball in the place where his playmakers can make plays. And they've been able to do that time and again throughout the season. And that's why you're in a position like that.
Yeah.
Our officials are still in the video review booth here down at Andre Reed Stadium. They just emerged now.
Yeah, they can't. There's not enough evidence to overturn it, so
we'll get our
call. Stay with the call on the field.
It's upheld, they will say, that it is a touchdown. And a loud cheer from the Frostburg State sideline, deservedly so. An impressive quick drive here, starting all the way back on Kutztown's 19-yard line. 14 plays, 57 yards for Frostburg State to give them that late 1 second remaining touchdown. And now pending the extra point here, Mike, which is always interesting.
Yeah.
And we'll see what we will have here. I believe that's Fritz on for it. And that one is up, and it is good as that goes through for the Bobcats. And Sam Dominguez on the hold, and that will make it 28-20 and get it back to a one-possession game with 1 second remaining. And probably the most key point here is Frostburg State gets the kickoff to start the second half.
Yeah, it's been a 48 points on the board and a conversion by your backup quarterback forced in action. And I'll tell you, on that drive, Miles Fulton showed a lot of composure. The game isn't too big for him, and he made a big run, led by the big throw off the deflection. And we'll see how Frostburg State plays this kick.
Mike, there's been a lot of games. We haven't seen a lot of things covering Kutztown all year, outside of maybe a first quarter. And we have seen a season's worth of scenarios here through the first half today.
All credit to the Bobcats on the road here again, their third straight playoff game on the road, their fourth game overall on the road. They haven't had a home game since November 8th. This team does not go away, and they've given themselves a chance here now by that late touchdown.
Keene, squib up the middle. And that was caught and knelt. And that was a focal point on film with Coach Clements this week, Mike. He said we put more hands guys for our kick return because you never know when they'll do things like that. But with 1 second left, it was definitely the right call for Frostburg State. A lot to digest through the first 30 minutes of football, and we have a good one here in Berks County. We'll step aside. We'll sift through everything that took place. We'll come back with some first half stats and analysis and the second half of what I'm sure will be just as great as the first 2 quarters of play here in our quarterfinal showdown. So we'll be back in just a little bit. You're watching the NCAA Division II Football Championship quarterfinals on ESPN+. At the half here at Andre Reed Stadium, taking a look at some of the last scores. Tyler Trumbauer, Mike Iannacci with you. Mike, Luke Maxwell's had a nice first half.
Yeah, nice first half receiving the ball, and then he gets a reward there with a touchdown run. A crazy first half.
Yeah, another look at this one. He just was able to navigate after initially getting stopped, but he's had a couple of nice receptions and rushes here so far today. He's got 2 rushing scores in the first 2 quarters
and
of play.
Here's the play of the game up to this point for Frostburg State, as Miles Fulton off the bench here steps up to it. Time running out here in the first half. You think they're going to just throw it away, and the toe tap, Amir Coles makes the catch in the end zone that went to video review and was
I think we've seen that one enough. We
yeah,
don't need to see the end of that one.
Enough. But a great play by Amir Coles.
Yeah, it was.
After the play before, he was called for an illegal touch because he was lined up. He was covered over as an illegal receiver.
Yep.
And then he comes back and makes that play, and credit to him to follow that ball, that tip ball that was thrown into coverage and worked out for the Bobcats. So they have been – last week they were here in this situation at Cal. They've given themselves a chance here against the 3rd-ranked team in the country and the number 1 team here in Super Region 1. But to say that, Kutztown put 28 points up in the first half, allowed 20. But their offense, 1 punt the whole first half, very efficient moving the ball. And Frostburg has not had an answer for the Kutztown offense yet from a defensive stance of the ball.
Looking at some of the first half stats here before we get our third quarter underway. A big rushing attack, especially early on by the Golden Bears, Mike, to amass 122 rushing yards. All scores for the first half for the Golden Bears coming on the ground, but it's a flip of the script for the Bobcats. They have done a lot through the air and then have had to punch it in from a goal-to-go situation. Actually, more offensive production in total yards for Frostburg State than Kutztown, but those penalties for Frostburg State, they had the back-to-back neutral zone infractions, some others that have come at not so great times, and then turnovers. You had the sideways punt that gave a short field. You also had the strip sack fumble that gave a short field, and they are struggling on third downs a little bit as well in some of those more sustained drives for Frostburg, but they've been able to bail themselves out. They are 3 for 3 on fourth downs here in the first half. So those are some of your first half stats, Mike, as we are moments away. Both teams out on the university field now. What needs to happen for Frostburg State to pull off this upset today?
Well, with that late score to make it a one-score game, their full playbook is open in this first drive now with a hot quarterback, Miles Fulton, who Chuck Bittner, who does a great job with Inside D2 Football, told me Miles Fulton was their starter last year at halftime, that he played a lot last year as in a period of 4 games this year, but he came off the bench with a tremendous amount of confidence and made some big plays with his legs, extending that drive with a big run, and then the last play, the throw into the end zone.
What about for KU to hold on for the win?
I think they have to adjust to, now you adjust to Miles Fulton, be who you are, be efficient on offense, and maybe get a shutdown here coming out of the locker room. Third quarter's been a good quarter for the Golden Bears all year.
And KU will start this quarter on defense after losing that coin toss and having to Frostburg State defer. KU has outscored opponents 132-23 in third quarters this season. It looks like Millard is on for the kick. Sends it bouncing into the end zone for a touchback, and it was Nate Millard on for the kick as KU uses a couple different ones on kickoff depending on the needs. So that'll be a touchback, and it'll be the first possession of the second half for the Bobcats. 1st and 10 on their own 25-yard line. And Mike, as you mentioned, Miles Fulton stepping in here for the injured Jordan Brooks, who suffered some type of lower body injury kind of in the ankle area. And tried to stay and play through it, but certainly was limited in his mobility and his planting ability for passing the football, but Fulton has jumped right into it. 5 for 8, 1 touchdown, 55 passing yards to go with his rushing ability, 20-plus yards on the ground here in the first half. And they'll fake the handoff here, go deep, first play, near sideline, and it's caught. Frostburg State with a big statement here to start here for the third quarter. Ray Adams with a big catch downfield.
Yeah, they're one of their top receivers here. Good throw here by Fulton. Beat Zach Purr to the outside for the catch. And a big play for Frostburg State to start the second half. This offense is feeling really confident right now.
Adams had just one catch in the opening half, makes a big splash play there to start the second. Just a 8-point game here on this start of the second half. Good run here, open space for the Bobcats. Smothers, the redshirt sophomore out of Queen Anne, Maryland, has made his presence known on the ground today as he had 6 carries for 10 yards. That one more explosive for his first touch of the second half.
Yeah, good jump out there and makes more men miss in the secondary. Frostburg State with a good drive here, 2 back-to-back positive plays.
And they are certainly making a statement here. They have found ways to win in a variety of fashions throughout 2025. Playmaking ability from a variety of players. And that's why they're hanging with the third-ranked team in the country here early in the second half. Handoff, Smothers again. That one tripped up maybe for about a yard or 2. Good pursuit by Pullman. He's got 22 tackles coming into today. The graduate year player out of Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey. Take a look at that one. It was him and Brandon Strasser, the redshirt senior out of Reading, making that tackle. Strasser, I think, the one with actually the hand on the shoestring. But it was a 4-yard pickup on first down and brings him in the red zone.
Big offensive line here for Frostburg State. Going across 315, 300, 290 at center, 320, and 300 at tackle.
And they'll go on the ground behind that big line here on second down and maybe get 3 yards there to bring up a 3rd and short. As this big man football, Mike, has certainly become a prevalent storyline here as we see that one again feeding Smothers. And a lot of goal-to-go situations today where the big men have come into play, but also with the ground game here in this opening drive, and also a lot of what KU accomplished in the first quarter was behind their exemplary offensive line.
Doyle now. Owen Doyle, their leading rusher, is in number 2.
Doyle with just 6 carries so far today, but as Mike said, certainly has the moniker as the top tailback for this Bobcats team so far this season. And they go to the air on 3rd down. Good coverage, pressure, pocket collapsing, and a sack. The Gold Rush gets home for the Golden Bears, and we have a injury.
And that's the quarterback.
And that is Fulton down as he kind of got twisted around. Take a look at the play here as the pocket collapsed with no open space downfield.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's the leg that he has the brace on. He's up trying to walk out. He's going to have to come out for one play because the training staff came on. It's 4th down. You wonder if Frostburg State will try a field goal. And now we're going deep into the
they are sending out another unit, Mike, so it looks like they will be trotting the field goal team out on the field here. With the sack, it backed them up to the 21-yard line. So this would be a 38-yard field goal for the Bobcats. And we do have Harrison Fritz, who's made a long of 40 this season. Hold kick is up, and it is good. So a couple of explosive plays stalled out in the red zone, and the Bobcats strike first in the second half with a field goal to cut into this deficit again, making it a 5-point game with 11:51 to go. But a nice drive there, 5 plays, 59 yards, Mike, and in the Golden Bears defense, bend but not break to force them to just a field goal.
Yeah, that's a win for the Golden Bear defense after allowing the explosive play right out of the locker room. And now you have to take a look at Miles Fulton's health as he got twisted around down there with that knee brace. That looked like the leg that took the most. And he's over there sprinting, so he looks pretty good. Sprinting on the sidelines.
And he is trying to work out that leg on the far sideline right now, so we'll keep an eye as he is being tended to by the medical staff for Frostburg State, but they have some time. But it looks like initially he will return to this game, so that's good to see for the Bobcats as this game progresses here this afternoon.
All right, here we go. And now the Kutztown offense, who has not been on the field for a while,
Tyler Cook on for the kickoff for the Bobcats. Freshman out of Frostburg, Maryland, and this one will be returned right around the 5-yard line. Up the middle, Preston, and he will fall forward just shy of the 30-yard line, and that's where the Golden Bears offense will come out for their first drive of this second half. Harlan Hill finalist Judd Novak, 4 for 8, 75 yards through the air on the first 2 quarters of his game today, but it was really the run game that got the spotlight for Kutztown, including 19 yards for Mr. Novak himself.
And Tyler, we talked a little bit at halftime how personalities coming into a game. You think this is one of the top-rated defenses against a very efficient offense, and we have 51 points now up on the board early in the third quarter.
I mean, Frostburg's defense has only allowed 20 points per game too, right? So they're kind of out the window, giving up 28 in the first half. Here, handoff Stewart, and he's looking for room to work, but not much after a few yards, trying to get to that second level of the Bobcats defense, who stood tall there in that one. As you take a look at the replay, Rainer Haviland, I believe, was the one there to bring down Stewart on that first down carry. They'll give him only a yard as we take a look there, and a couple of those Bobcats there. Daquan Stevenson as well.
They bring Burkhardt in for Jaden.
Usually in the season you saw them rotate series by series, trying to change that one here in the running back room kind of philosophy in the quarterfinals. Fake the handoff, pass back to the near side. Burkhardt, Chernecki with a lead block. Burkhardt spins forward to about the 44-yard line, and that was good execution and play design there for Kutztown.
Yeah, they took Bryant and ran him away, and then Judd with the throwback. He's got Chernecki in front of him, and that's a pretty good guy to have in front of you, and good pursuit there to close that down before any more yardage was gained, because Burkhardt has had the ability to break away for big runs. So now Stewart's back in there as they try to vary this run attack.
And we need to run on a Golden Bear late, does KU. Ryan Chernecki, we've seen him out in open space a couple times, 6'8", 330, but he is able to move. Play clock down to 3 now, and Kutztown is able to get it off in time. Another bootleg, that one caught. Maxwell, first down into Frostburg State territory.
Yeah, this is the answer that the Kutztown offense needed, as the Maxwell has just become uncoverable or just running wide open all afternoon for another first down reception.
The redshirt sophomore certainly making his presence known. As Mike, you said, he was kind of a back pocket secret weapon for the Golden Bears. Now he's certainly on the front page making some headlines here as this season's gone along. And this first fast-moving third quarter has Kutztown driving in Frostburg State's territory now, 1st and 10. Stewart with the handoff going nowhere. Big hit by the Bobcats.
Yeah, that's their linebacker, Jalen Boyd. Leads the team 60 tackles on the season. And they have that play figured out there, trying to run to that side.
Stacked up there from going on the short side of the field with the ball spotted on that far hash, and that'll result in a 1-yard loss with the big hit and pursuit by Boyd. Now 2nd and 11 here for the Golden Bears. Under 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. Easily the most competitive game KU's faced in this entire postseason run, one of the most competitive of the season. Fake the handoff, Novak looking deep. Now he's got room to run. Downfield, Judd Novak inside the 30, and he'll slide down at the 25-yard line. And Judd Novak with a little fire up.
You have to walk away, Judd.
I didn't see anything nefarious there, at least initially. We'll
it
take
may
a
have
look at the
been
replay.
Herrick has to hold up here because Judd actually goes into the slide late. And Judd plays with a lot of fire, so he just felt maybe, hey, I'm going into the slide, you got to stay off of me. I think it was tough for Herrick to do this because the slide's late.
Yep.
And Herrick just gives him a little bit of a knee, inadvertent. I don't think it was intentional. But another first down for the Golden Bears.
So KU continues to move the ball via the ground, much of like last week's MO, and how they were able to pull away from the Greyhounds for that second-round win. Handoff, this one to the tailback Stewart, and maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, as that one was pursued well by that entire Bobcats line and linebacker crew. Look at the replay here. Stewart, the backer.
Leading with Gino Campagna as a lead blocker there. And they just getting back to the line of scrimmage.
Gino, the redshirt senior tight end out of San Diego, California. Much more of the more physical blocker type of tight end, where we see Luke Maxwell, the more athletic tight end who does a little bit of everything, as we've spotlighted numerous times here today. Play clock to single digits. Novak to throw on 2nd and long. Downfield, open Amorum, and it's caught at the 10. He could have walked in if Novak was able to put on a better pass, but either way, a big pickup.
Trevor Amorum comes all the way across the coverage here. See him lined up there on the far side. He comes all the way across the coverage, and Judd finds him as he clears the zone there, as everybody ran deep.
Nobody was there. The Bobcats, a little bit of broken coverage, but were able to avoid complete disaster as Amorum, who's having a spectacular senior season out of Slatington, Pennsylvania. Had a touchdown last week, 2 touchdowns actually, now with a big pickup there to make it 1st and goal. Novak handoff, and that is maybe back to the line of scrimmage for Jaden Stewart, and these Bobcats are really zeroing in on the running game.
Yeah, good pursuit here by the Bobcats defense. Where they've had problems is where Kutztown is motioned out the other way. They haven't contained the backside a lot in this game. That's where they've had their most trouble defensively, but they've done a good job stuffing the run game here in the third quarter as we run under 6 minutes, Tyler, in this third quarter.
Certainly has moved, with each team having just 1 possession here in the second half so far. The Golden Bears, 2nd and goal. Novak throws, and it is far side.
Caught for a touchdown. Trevor Amorum
just slides open and free, beats the coverage. Will Burns was down there for the Bobcats, and Trevor Amorum got him into the goal-to-go situation, gets him into pay dirt for 6, and KU scores on their first possession of the second half.
Judd Novak just lets a play develop. He's so patient, and he lets his receiver get a little separation and just fires it in there, and Amorum makes a heck of a catch. And good coverage over there, but the throw by Novak, the difference.
And well done there by Amorum to know to keep his feet in there as he slid, as Will Smith's extra point is through for 1 more on the board for the Golden Bears, who now take this lead back to double digits, 35-23 here with 5:42 to go in the third quarter. And as the storyline all season, Mike, has been this vaunted Kutztown defense and the low-scoring games and their ability to put up points, right now it is blow for blow by these offenses here in this quarterfinal.
It's crazy, and now you have a quarterback situation with it looks like Miles Fulton is okay. He was sprinting on the sidelines over there. Jordan Brooks is still over there, but he's clearly has that ankle heavily taped, so I don't think we'll see Jordan Brooks again. So it's a Miles Fulton game here, and now the Kutztown defense, now with that lead back up to 12, will try to slow down this Frostburg State offense. They held them to a field goal after the Fulton injury.
And that was a strong opening drive with a couple of explosive plays, and then they were able to limit them to just 3, Mike, as you said, and then a good response by Kutztown as well to give this a 12-point lead and get it back to 2-possession game. Will Smith for the kickoff. We'll see what they do. This is a line drive, and it is caught in the end zone, and they'll bring it out. Frostburg State trying to make something here across the 15, and he's knocked down right around the 19. Big hit as Austin Paul Umstead tried to make another explosive special teams return.
It may have been LaRon Short maybe with that hit. I know it was either him or Austin Lehman. So now the Miles Fulton back in the brace. He was twisted up on a play on the last drive, had to leave the game, and they went for the field goal attempt. So 1st and 10 right at the 20-yard line, Tyler.
5:36 to go in the third. Second possession of the half here. As Mike said, Fulton is back in. Looks to be okay for the Bobcats after limping off on the last possession. some confusion on the formation here for the Bobcats, and they're going to burn a timeout. I think they were looking for some pre-snap motion. There was a lot of confusion, hands waving, and they'll burn a timeout here before a snap on this second possession. They're the first timeout from either team here in the second half.
Tough one to take it that early in the game with 5:36 to go in the third quarter to burn that first timeout. Again, some confusion with, first of all, I think two of the receivers were lined up off sides, so they had to adjust there, and then they got deep into the play clock and had to burn the timeout. So this Kutztown defense now gathering on the sidelines here, trying to get a stop.
Yeah, they need to, a quick 3 and out would certainly set the tone, something they've done time and time again. We've talked about it, but Frostburg State has been immune to that so far today.
Where Frostburg State has had pretty quick scoring drives compared to Kutztown. Limited possessions left in this game the way Kutztown has been running the ball and maintaining the clock.
Absolutely. So it'll be a big possession here. I think the why Coach Wagner called the timeout. He knows. Don't want to get backed up behind the sticks. Deeper into your own territory. Let's get things right for this offense that has amassed over 200 receiving yards, 55 rushing yards for the Bobcats here midway through the third quarter. And they'll go to the ground here. Doyle right into the pile, bumps free, and now is brought down across the 26-yard line. Kept his feet moving, Mike, and that's why he's the leading rusher.
Yeah, that's, the running game for Frostburg State has tried to neutralize the Kutztown pass rush. That time Doyle looked like he was stopped for no gain and then bounced outside. Of course, Coach Wagner told us he bench presses 600 pounds, both running backs do, and very strong runner.
Second and 5 here. Fake the handoff, quick pass, and that is incomplete, in and out of the hands of Coles, who was the intended target on the far sideline. So that'll bring up a third down, and this is where the Bobcats have struggled today. 4 for 10 so far this afternoon, but here's the incomplete pass.
Yeah, just a read RPO there, and he decides to try to throw it out to Coles, who had the big touchdown catch at the end of the first half. 3rd and 5. And you wonder how much mobility Fulton has with that injury he suffered the last time he was out there.
He's been able to run the ball at key moments since he's come into this game. Pressure coming, and he's going to have to run here, Mike, trying to get a first down. He does, and he slides down for first down yardage. Looks to be pretty good now, Mike.
He's adjusting that brace. I thought he was limping out of that. He's still trying to work that knee a little bit, flexing that knee with the brace as he takes off.
But a heads-up play, though. He saw the open space, knew he didn't want to get caught up in traffic, found the escape route, and was able to move the ball and, in turn, move the chains via the ground game. So with 4:19 to go, it's a fresh set of downs as the Bobcats avoid another quick 3 and out, and they'll settle in here for another possession. Handoff, and that one's caught right at the line of scrimmage. Handed it off to Landon Alexander, the junior from Aliquippa, Pennsylvania, one of the better high school football programs in the Commonwealth, as he comes back to the Keystone State and gets swallowed up there. And tough one there at the end there, Mike, for Mikey Gray, I think might be the injured Golden Bear. I think right at the end of the replay he got rolled up on.
Yeah, number 91 was in there for Frostburg State, Zach Michael. And
so he's down, and if that is Gray, he's a key component of this big defensive line. Redshirt sophomore out of York, Pennsylvania, being tended to. Head coach Jim Clements over to check in on him as the clock is stopped with 3:57 to go in this one. Again, the winner of this one advances to the national semifinals. Opponent would be determined by the NCAA committee as they will reseed the final 4 teams, and then one will host 4. The second seed will host the third seed, and all 4 quarterfinal games are now underway, with our last game kicking off just minutes ago. And giving you a quick look at the scoreboard, Albany State leading 21-10 over Newberry, and Ferris State leading Minnesota State 24-14 in the 2 games that kicked off at 1 o'clock. So hopefully that the injured Golden Bear is okay. He'll be tended to on the sideline as we resume action on the field with a 2nd and 9 coming up. they'll fake the handoff. Pressure, pocket collapsing. And the ball's loose.
Oh.
And it will roll out of bounds. And a pump fake caused the ball and a little push. And we might get a penalty marker, Mike, on a...
Now they're going to talk it. They're just going to talk them through everything.
Yeah, that has certainly been a conversation point for us. Let's take a look at the replay here. A lot of extracurriculars. I believe there will be a penalty marker. I think the nearby official couldn't get the flag out, and it was a hat that was thrown.
Let's see which way they go here.
There's the replay as we just show it. There's actually no penalty marker. I could have sworn he was reaching for it. Might have been because of the fumble, and he was trying to mark where that was, so the hat was signifying where it went out of bounds.
Well, now they're marking. It's where he can't.
You can't advance a fumble, correct.
Advance a fumble. So
that's where he was trying to mark it, but I thought because he already threw that bag that he was trying to reach for the flag as well. Either way, they'll back it up. So the pump fake where that ball went loose, so it's 3rd and long. With 3:35 ticking down here, 3rd and 11 to be precise. Ball placed back at Frostburg State's 33-yard line. So more extracurriculars, still no penalty markers in result of any of them. Big 3rd down coming up here.
Fulton's done a good job with his legs in these situations.
To the air. Pressure coming, sacked. Big loss for Frostburg State as Kutztown gets home again for the 4th sack of the day.
That was LaRon Short coming in. You only can block for so long against this team, and they're going to make you pay. And clock running under 3 minutes here in the 3rd quarter, and that is a big defensive stop by the Golden Bears.
So now forced to punt for the 2nd time today is Frostburg State. The first one did not go well. 4th and 21, ball back at their own 23-yard line. Dominguez, and that one much better.
But short.
Short end over end. And that will take a fortuitous Kutztown bounce and settle at about the 45-yard line. And that's where this Kutztown offense will come back out onto the field, Mike. And, you know, something we've seen in these last couple of games going back to the PSAC championship game for Kutztown is this second half performance by the defense.
Yeah.
So that was a strong response there after giving up that drive, limiting to a field goal. Could that KU defense and the halftime adjustments they've made here today be much of the storyline we saw in the earlier last few weeks where they can shut down opponents?
Yeah, it's so crucial, the adjustments you make at halftime. A good friend of mine told me you play the first half to win the game in the second half. You try to figure things out, and you have to adjust to a different quarterback, and the defense there with a great answer.
1st and 10 on their own 45. Burkhart with the ball. Burkhart breaking free. Burkhart into the secondary, and he is brought down from behind at the 28-yard line.
And a late flag.
Penalty marker comes down, though. Lance Blankenship, the defensive end, chased him down from the behind, as that was a big open field, Mike.
See here at the end, looked like he had his shirt. I don't know if they were think it was a horse, but Judd Novak, preliminary signal from Judd. It's against Frostburg State.
Personal foul. It is a face mask variety they will call, and that will tack on some penalty yards to the end of this big run by Burkhart.
It was a personal foul, too, not the 5-yard face mask, inadvertent. They call that a personal foul.
So that'll move the ball up to the 14-yard line with a 1st and 10 here for that man, Judd Novak, and this Kutztown offense. Novak, the 2nd in passing efficiency in all of Division II football. Has yet to throw an interception this season. Although he threw a pick 6 in practice, we heard this week.
Eden Johnson got him.
Handoff on the end around, near side, and that one is positive yardage for Lanique Preston.
Yeah.
Knocked out of bounds at the 6.
Yeah.
Preston, a skilled playmaker in the wide receiver position, has just one catch, but now that'll be his first run of the day as KU's gone to some more of those pre-snap motion and then also giving that player the ball here in today's offensive production.
It's been very effective to take the pursuit away from Frostburg and really to get out the backside there and not contain the edge. That motion pre-snap has been very effective.
Under 80 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, the Golden Bears in the red zone here looking to get another score here in the 3rd quarter. Fake the handoff. Novak spins, and he's brought down at about the 4. And again, a little chippiness.
Well, that's
Novak didn't like how long that tackler was take a look at this here.
Yeah, Wyland Herrick again, the safety, makes a play here.
I think
makes a nice play. And
we did get a penalty marker at the end of this, I believe.
And that may be
no, maybe not.
Maybe offsetting.
Thought I saw something yellow fly in there.
It's going to take this to the fourth quarter, very close to it, Tyler, and it's been another third quarter for the Golden Bears that they've added on.
So they'll have at least one more play here in the third. Play clock down to single digits, I formation. Novak here, under center. And he'll fake the handoff. Throw, end zone caught, touchdown, big man Gino Campagna.
All right,
breaks
Gino.
Free as he gets Kutztown 6 more points here this afternoon. I was saying earlier, he's more of the blocker, and that's what the defense thought there. Didn't account for him in coverage, and a big play for Gino Campagna, his second catch of the season, and both of his catches, Mike, have been for touchdowns.
That's right. That's all he does is score touchdowns. That's Gino, all he does.
100% success rate for scoring for Gino here in 2025. Will Smith on for the extra point for the Golden Bears. And that one is up and through. Benjamin with the good snap and hold by Millard. And with 17 seconds remaining in the third quarter, it is a 42-23 lead for Kutztown as the offenses continue to roll this afternoon.
You know, Tyler, I know you're tired of me saying this, but the way Kutztown piles the points off things, the way that they do it is just incredible. That this game was 28-23, a one-score game, and it goes 42-23, basically like that.
14 unanswered for the Golden Bears here, and quite the response for them here after giving up that impressive tipped touchdown catch at the end of the first half to come out here, give up a couple of explosive plays, hold them to a field goal, force a punt, and then go right down and score a couple of touchdowns. That's exactly been Kutztown's MO this season, is flip the script, and it has been an impressive last 15 minutes of football for the Golden Bears here. And Smith to kick off low liner near side, and that one they will let go into the end zone for a touchback. So it'll be ball at the 25-yard line for the Bobcats, Mike, who certainly need to come up with some response here on this offensive possession.
Yeah, they need to give themselves a chance going into the fourth quarter, and right now you think down 19, they've become kind of one-dimensional here, but I'm not sure if they are with the two running backs that they have. I think they may stick to it and see if they can break a run here. With 17 seconds in the third quarter, what they want to avoid is a sack and a turnover. But trailing by 19, we'll see. Fulton coming off the bench has had some success.
And he'll go to the air on first down near side, and it's intercepted. And a penalty marker for a face mask will add on to it. And another takeaway and a big push at the end here.
Another penalty flag.
And we finally have a marker from the extracurricular stuff. A lot to sift through here, but ultimately the play on the field is they stepped in front of the pass. Let's take a look at the X's and O's first, Mike.
And here's the throw right here. He steps right in front of it as he just stepped in front, makes the interception.
Purr, the redshirt sophomore, to Holy Redeemer, when the face mask will add on to it. And then off the screen, back by the line of scrimmage, there was some pushing and shoving, and we did see another marker. There's actually 3 hankies on University Field, so things will have to get sifted out here as we've seen this reach a boiling point, Mike, and I think it's finally boiled over as our officials out of the Great American Conference down in Arkansas and Oklahoma have had their hands full today trying to manage the emotions of this tightly contested quarterfinal.
Well, here we go. Let's see what we got.
A lot to sift through here. First, the turnover. The play will stand. Then the personal foul, face mask on Frostburg. That will add on to that. Play done. Another personal foul.
That's a 30-yard penalty.
Yeah,
so this
both
is gonna
penalties
be a first
get
and,
enforced.
It's going to be first and goal.
Because one was after the play, one was during the play, so you're allowed to enforce both. So, Mike, to your point, this was a team that had, 49 penalty yards coming into that play. Now tack on 30 more.
Yeah, you just
I mean, and we'll have to keep an eye on that as the game goes along, Mike. We still have 11 seconds in the third, the entire fourth quarter. And we've seen it time and again through the first 2.5 quarters of this game.
Well, the market at the 7-yard line.
So now a goal-to-go situation after another takeaway by this Golden Bear defense. Second in total defense in all of Division II football with another turnover. Jaden Stewart in at tailback for KU. And they'll give him the ball. Near side, and he will fight forward for a few and then push back right around the 7-yard line, maybe with forward progress. They'll actually get him closer to the 5 as we've hit the end of the third quarter. Take a look at this one again as a kind of step back Stewart counter to the near side, sniffed out well, and that'll put him second and goal right around the 5-yard line. When we return, we head to the fourth. You're watching the NCAA Division II Football Championships quarterfinal on ESPN+. Through 3, Mike, here's a couple of those key plays from that third quarter.
Yeah, Kutztown scored 14 points in the first, 14 points in the second, and 14 points in the third. And Judd Novak here lets his receiver, Trevor Morum, get open and just barely open, but Judd threads the needle for a touchdown.
And a good slide there by the Northern Lehigh grad.
And that was an answer to a field goal by Frostburg State. And then it's fake. Judd again, and he finds Gino Campagna.
For his
2
second.
for 2 on the season, 2 receptions, 2 touchdowns. And then finally, Zach Perda with the interception over here as steps straight in front of it. A face mask there, then a personal foul. So the Golden Bears set up at the 5-yard line to start the fourth quarter, up 42-23. They outscore Frostburg State 14-3 in that third quarter.
Much more limited action, but that was Fulton's first interception of the season.
Wow. And again, that's what this Kutztown defense has done, is they turn the ball over either by sack and fumble or interception. And Coach Clemens said, going to the playoffs, we have to create more turnovers, and they've done that.
First play of the fourth quarter, pop pass.
Again!
Touchdown. That is big. That is Maxwell in the back of the end zone, the other tight end getting in on the action. And he celebrates with his tight end comrade, Gino Campagna, in the back of the end zone. Pop pass over everybody. Luke Maxwell stretching out for it. And the New Jersey native tacks on 6 more. And, Mike, I teased it earlier. I think it's official now. It's the Luke Maxwell game.
Oh, man. Luke Maxwell, what a game.
As the Golden Bears on the first play of the fourth quarter gifted that goal to go after 30 penalty yards at the end of that third quarter sequence. And now the extra point will go straight through the uprights to make it 49-23 over Frostburg State, as Luke Maxwell has had easily the best game of his Kutztown career. Count him, Mike. He's got 64 receiving yards on 4 catches, now 1 receiving touchdown, to go along with 13 rushes on 3 rushing yards, on 3 carries for 2 touchdowns. 3 scores for the redshirt sophomore today. And we're a long way from 28-23.
Wow, it just, you look up, it's 21 unanswered points. You had a 1-score game. You had Frostburg State on the field, their defense on the field. You know, what happens? They get a 3-and-out, get the ball back. You don't know. They may take the lead the way they were playing, the way the offense was, moving the ball. And
whether you want to call them, great plays by Kutztown or missed opportunities by Frostburg State, it's a, like you said, 21-point difference since it was 28-23. But really, Mike, it was what? 3 bad decisions.
Yeah.
And that's how quickly this game has changed. This one kicked and can be returned around the 6. Frostburg State trying to make a comeback, and they'll try to do it through the kick return, but not much going there as they do get a few yards. Does Osmond Fanny. A little bit more extracurricular pushing and shoving. And I think that's going to be a
players just need to
theme.
walk. Players need to walk away. I know the inevitability of the end of the season. The end of your football career is 14 minutes and 50 seconds away, but you have to walk away at this point. And the extracurriculars after the whistle just have to stop.
14:50 to go in the fourth quarter, and the Bobcats have their work cut out for them here if they'd like to keep their season alive and their best historic season in school history here at the D2 level. Had a great first half. Not much to show here in the third. Handoff, and that's a big hit. Smothers with the ball.
Mike Fiemme.
Fiemme, the transfer from Shippensburg, with a little shrug after the big hit. And that maybe was a yard pickup for Smothers there, the redshirt sophomore tailback, and Fiemme, who has stepped up into the starting role with Noah Kenzie out again this week. Kenzie's missed the last 2 games, including today. But the redshirt senior out of Philadelphia, Fiemme, has made big plays throughout the season, stepped up in a big way here in this playoff run. To the air on second down, and he'll have to throw it into the dirt as the pressure was coming. A big hit there by Braden Pullman on Fulton, and he has to throw it to the feet of the intended target. Look at this one, Mike.
Yeah, it was.
Beats his man
Pullman
around the side.
Just beat him, and
yeah.
it looked like he was releasing to set up for a screen, to block for a screen, and Pullman just went right to the quarterback.
He blew it up, didn't allow time for the screen to develop here on second down. So 3rd and 9 here. 5 for 12 on third downs is Frostburg State today. The KU faithful, some of the loudest they've been here today at Andre Reed Stadium. Pass, open space, and a shoestring tackle right at the point of the catch, bringing down Landon Alexander, and that'll force a punt.
Jasir Harden returning to the lineup with a big open field tackle here, and this is what every coach we've talked to this year has said. Kutztown just tackles really, really well.
Jasir Harden, the redshirt sophomore, missed last week, has 2 interceptions this season. And the New Jersey native didn't allow him to get any yards after the catch there. So 4th and 7 after a 2-yard pickup on third. So this will be the third punt of the day, and that one probably his best. It'll be returned. Henson on the return. Big hit, though.
And a little bit more stuff.
They're going to let it go, Mike.
Another stuff.
They're going to let it go. We can't keep talking about it.
I don't understand it. I really don't understand what I'm seeing.
They play football different in Oklahoma and Arkansas. They let a lot of that stuff go, Mike.
This is just, I mean, it's a good play. It's a good hit. And get up and,
that's form tackling.
That's
right
a good
there.
play. I mean, that's a good play. You don't need to do anything more than that. Okay, 49-23. Kutztown has the ball. Judd Novak, Harlan Hill finalist.
Just 8, 2 from each region.
Boy, what a season this has been to return for me.
All because of you, Mike. 13:21 to go.
Two things unrelated.
Kutztown with a double-digit lead, trying to control this fourth quarter and salt away that win. Handoff, Burkhart's, and that's blown up in the backfield, but multiple flags thrown. And this looks like it might be a face mask based on how that twirl went. And it is a face mask. That'll be the 8th penalty of the afternoon on the Bobcats. Take a look at this one. They had good pursuit on the ball carrier, but then just trying to get a hand in there, and that hand landed in the face mask. So that would turn a tackle for loss into positive yards for the Golden Bears, who will march down the field, ball right at midfield. Another good crowd on hand here today. Good traveling crowd by Frostburg State as well.
Yeah, we saw a great send-off by their university president, went on the bus to wish them well, and had fire truck escort out of town on the way.
1st and 10, and Novak is brought down for a sack first time today. Frostburg's defense has gotten to him.
Yeah, Jalen Boyd, the fine linebacker for Frostburg State.
That's his second and a half sack of the season. Yeah, great home field advantage for the Golden Bears throughout this tournament this postseason as the top seed in Super Region 1. Didn't get the bye in the first round in the new format this year, so an extra game here for the home crowd too. And they've shown up each week, and the visiting crowd has done much of the same. And like you said, it's been a huge community rally point down for Frostburg State. Pass, Novak, that one's high and incomplete, trying to connect with Jamian Bryant. And that'll bring up third down and long here, 19 to be precise.
And the Kutztown crowd here has turned out again on this Saturday afternoon into December playing football, and who would have thought 3 straight playoff home games, one well earned by an incredible season.
Secondary signals here for the Golden Bears. What will they do on third down? Pressure comes from Frostburg State. Pass far side, and that is bobbled and then caught by Jamian Bryant. And this bobble brought him back, but just enough to get to the cross midfield, but not nearly enough to move the sticks. But we'll get back the sack yardage at least. So that will be a good connection on third down, but not a long distance connection to keep the drive alive. So Kutztown will punt, their second one of the day coming up here.
Frostburg State again will line everybody up, not send anybody back, and then they switch into it to send a deep man back. They do a lot of creative things on special teams.
No man back right now, bringing 11 to the line. Pressure. Millard gets it away, trying to pin him inside the 20 again. And this one will bounce and roll and returned. Picked up there and then immediately tackled maybe a couple of yards after that one. But Frostburg State trying to make something happen there. Landon Alexander picking it up. That could have been dangerous. Luckily, it works in their favor as they did get a few more positive yards after the initial bounce. And it'll be 1st and 10 for this Bobcat offense on their own 25-yard line. And now that clock starts to become a factor here, Mike. 10:58 to go, down by several touchdowns.
Yeah, they need some broken plays. I haven't seen Gilliard in the game in a while, number 12, unless he's over there on the wingback position, but haven't seen Gilliard in there.
Has just one catch today, and they'll hand it off. And that one will go for a few yards and then be brought down there in the middle of the field.
Now, coming into the season, one thing they had to rebuild, we're talking about Kutztown defensively, is their defensive secondary. And they really have as the season's gone on. And I thought coming in this game, they would be challenged by the deep shots that Frostburg State would take with Gilliard, the senior.
Three yards officially on that first down carry. 2nd and 7 now for Frostburg State to the air. And that one is tipped and then incomplete through the hands of Luke Bless and then through the hands of Kutztown, who wasn't expecting it at all.
Ty Kephart was there.
Another Shippensburg transfer. Take a look at this one. And he was right there and like, wait, for me?
Another deflected pass.
The Grantville native off of his shoulder pad. So 3rd down and 7. Ball at Frostburg State's 28-yard line. Clock stopped with 10:15 to go. Have to imagine punting doesn't really do you any good from here on out. So maybe 2 plays to get the 7 yards. Pass near side caught. Upfield tackle by Harden there, but they do connect with Amir Coles, who gets enough for a first down.
Yeah, Amir Coles, who's been a favorite target today, he just swings out there from his tight end position and gets first down yardage. And Frostburg State will maintain possession here as we go under the 10-minute mark in regulation.
Frostburg State able to move the football, Mike, but as you just called out what the time remaining is, that is a factor. You have to move a little bit more up-tempo. You have to stack possessions.
Yeah.
And when you're going to the ground like this, I understand not trying to commit and go over the top on that, but you have to be able to move the football quickly there, as Brett Patterson got the carry there, the redshirt freshman tailback.
Yeah, I think he carried earlier in the game. We thought it was Gilliard. It was Patterson. Earlier in the game they brought him in, but Kutztown will welcome that, as that runs the clock under 9 minutes. But again, you have to protect your quarterback here too. You just can't have him standing back here throwing play after play, because the way this Kutztown defense comes after you.
Yeah, I mean, the Bobcats are certainly in no rush. There has been no change from their earlier possessions to now here in the latter stages of this one. Fulton goes deep. He's got a man, and it is blocked and broken up there by Tyrell Ford.
Yeah, how about that with the left hand? Had a step on him.
And he was able to close and then turn around. The St. Francis transfer looked at the ball, knocked down the ball.
Goes back there, reaches back with his left hand and breaks it up.
So they were trying to connect with Ray Adams downfield. Third down now, and 4 to go here with 8:39 remaining.
4-down territory, I would guess, for Frostburg State at this point with 8:39 to go.
Pocket collapsing, and he's tripped up.
Freddie Redder.
Redder gets home with the shoestring sack there as Fulton tried to escape to his right. He was almost in the clear, except for one Freddie Redder, the redshirt junior, getting there for the sack. So now 4th down and 9, and it looks like we will see the punt team out here, at least for the formation.
Yeah, but remember they put the running backs, Smothers and Doyle, are up backs here, so sometimes Coach Clement says they'll snap it to them.
Dominguez is the punter, the Gambrills, Maryland native, and he is actually going to punt this one away right at the return man, who calls for the fair catch, and that is where Kutztown will take over 1st and 10, as Trey Hamlin out of Delaware was able to haul that one in cleanly. So with 7:49 to go in the 4th, the Golden Bears will come back out on offense. And Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, they've scored on every possession of this second half.
I think they have.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. Did they have a punt there at the beginning? No. They had a punt in the 3rd quarter?
Yes.
But otherwise, they've been.
And their last one, too.
You put 49 points up, you've been efficient offensively.
Yeah, they've had a couple of explosive possessions here, a couple of punts. Asking a lot right now.
I know, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
We're at that point. We're at that point in the game, thankfully. 39 up to this point, looks like.
So another lower total for KU. That one's a running play. Jaden Stewart.
Judd Novak this afternoon, 11 for 16. 3 touchdowns, a long of 22. Burkhart 6 for 66. Jaden Stewart 13 for 42. Judd Novak 5 for 28.
2nd and 7 here after that pickup by Stewart on the ground. The Golden Bears. On 1st down. Handoff. Shakes one would-be tackler and maybe gets a yard before the rest of the Bobcats come in tow to lock that one down. I think Dom Tiaga was among those that were in on that one.
Yeah, Dom, I thought coming in here would be like a run stopper there at the nose tackle position.
Third and 6. Ball at their own 30-yard line. Novak in no hurry Bleeds the play clock down to 1. Now Stort, next level. Jaden Stort, first down, and then he's brought down back in the secondary there. But that'll move the chains and keep this drive going for the Golden Bears, who MO right now is run the ball, run the clock.
Yeah, Jaden Stewart, great to see him back here. Spins, and then brought down again by Herrick, who's had a big game in the defensive secondary from the safety position.
Senior out of Brunswick High School with a nice tackle there as well as we drop under 6 minutes to go.
You know, Frostburg State, you have to give them credit with this playoff run. They went to Johnson C. Smith in the first week, won 21-7. It was a defensive game. They ran the ball, and then last week the comeback at Cal, not an easy place to win.
Handoff. Stewart again with a big open run. And that one across midfield into their territory down around the 42-yard line. And it's another first down carry for one Jaden Stewart.
Here's, Tyler, the part of the game where I talk about the offensive line. Shane Hartman, Adam Conklin, C.J. Conti, Billy Everett, and Ryan Chernecki. What a year they have had controlling line of scrimmage. They just wear you down.
Ryan Chernecki, as you mentioned, a finalist for the Upshaw Award. He is the only nominee, though, Mike, that has a touchdown this year.
That's right.
So if that is a differentiator for the committee, that could help him in his favor. He had that touchdown early in the season in a trick play in a goal-to-go situation. Handoff Burkhart. He's had a lot of touchdowns this year, but not going to get one on this play as that one was bottled up nicely by the Bobcats.
Smartly going to the ground there, stay in bounds, keep the clock running.
Look at this one here. Had some lead blockers, but they were able to get past him well there. Jalen Boyd leading the charge, as expected.
The only thing left, Tyler, today to see if Kutztown can top the 50-point mark for the third straight playoff game.
This team averages 44 points a game. They've eclipsed that mark today. But as you said, they've had 50 points in the last couple of playoff games and are right on the doorstep of maybe getting past the half-century mark again. Keeper Novak, and he's got room to run. And he is knocked down. Ball loose. Sideline. Did it go out of bounds or did they catch it?
They threw the beanbag, so there was a fumble.
The ball did get bounced loose from Novak. We have an injured player behind the field. I didn't see them point the other direction, though, Mike.
Not yet. They were discussing it, but now Judd's running off the field. So
I think they will say it's a turnover. Change of possession. Frostburg State ball. Look at the replay. Yes, 21 did fall on it. Heads up play there by Frostburg State. Marquise Alsup gets that possession back, and a turnover by Judd Novak in Kutztown here with 3:51 to go as he was trying to run for extra yardage. Loses the ball. Popped out from behind, too. And that's the point, Mike, where knowing the situation of the game, maybe you just want to take a slide and continue to maintain possession.
Just trying to make something happen there and maintain the ball.
You see head coach Jim Clements walking out of screen there with his defense huddling. He named PSAC Coach of the Year and the AFCA Super Region 1 Coach of the Year, and he's up for Coach of the Year as well, being that winner, and he'll be considered for that award down at the AFCA Conference in North Carolina this offseason. So here are the Bobcats off the turnover, and they'll hand it off. And, Mike, there is no urgency from this offensive game plan right now.
Now, I think they've
They reading the tea leaves?
I think so, and the reality of it is they're not going to make up 26 points in 3.5 minutes, and you're trying to protect a quarterback who might be slightly injured too. I think a lot of that goes into it. Frostburg State has had a great run, had back-to-back overtime games, losing at Glenville and then winning at College of Charleston to kind of turn their season around and give them a chance to win the conference and get the bid that they did. And this was their third straight road game, fourth overall. They have not been at home for a home game since November 8th.
And this one, another rush. Doyle gets a few.
And you never have that situation during the regular season where you'd play this many road games in a row. And it's a bus ride, but still I think after the big win at Cal last week and then another bus ride this week, it kind of disrupts your schedule a little bit, this travel. But they were admirable through into the third quarter. They had down 28-23, and very few teams have been that close to Kutztown that late in the game. Bloomsburg, IUP, the only two this season. And now Frostburg State had it at 28-23. But then, since then, this Kutztown defense has just been shut down.
Third down, handoff. And you could really see he can't even really bend the left leg, Ken Fulton. And I think, Mike, that speaks to your point as you see him limping a bit there on the right side of your screen. He has no mobility right now, really ever since he had that big run and slide and then was adjusting the brace. And they'll let this roll down to the 2-minute timeout, and we'll step aside one final time as Kutztown looks to polish off this win and win Super Region 1. We'll step aside. You're watching the NCAA Division II Football Championship quarterfinal on
Coach.
the ESPN+. Take a look at that last touchdown for KU. Novak up and over everybody.
Touchdown maker.
Luke Maxwell, who has had an impressive performance today. As we're back here at Kutztown University, 2 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter of this one as KU on it defensively. And he are trying to get this one done with Fulton kind of limited at quarterback, but he's going to go to the air here. Downfield has a man open, and it's caught. 10-5, touchdown Frostburg State.
Well, Miles Fulton showing something there, literally on one leg, throwing that touchdown pass to make it 49-29 with 1:51 to go.
65-yard touchdown for the Bobcats. A little pump fake and go route, and they sneak behind the Golden Bears defensively, and he gets in for 6. Austin Paul Umstead out of Kingston, Maryland, with the touchdown. Not many receptions for him this year, but a touchdown on this one.
They'll go for 2 here to make it an 18-point game.
As KU here gives up their first touchdown of the second half, but still many points to go for the Bobcats here with 1:51. 2-point conversion attempt is a pass. And it is intercepted.
And he can return that.
And they will. The Golden Bears will take it. Head defensive coordinator Eric Fargo running step for step down the sideline. And we're going to go all the way for a few more points. Big run there. Amir Anderson making a snow angel here in Berks County. Off screen, Snow still on the sidelines, and Anderson, the redshirt junior defensive back, tacks on enough points, Mike, to get over the 50-point mark.
There you go.
As the Golden Bears take a look at it again.
Yeah. Rolls. Now he shows the throw across his body there, and Anderson just steps in it as the throw is a little bit behind the receiver.
100 yards, Mike, to get us over the half-century mark. 51-29. Here today, Kutztown doing it every which way this afternoon.
Amir Anderson's alma mater, LaSalle, plays for the 6A state championship tonight in Cumberland Valley. How about that next level knowledge there off the top of my head?
We wouldn't want to wrap up our final broadcast without a high school football conversation, Mike. And everyone else on ESPN Plus is wondering why we are doing that.
Yep.
1:51 to go. Will the Bobcats try to do an onside, Mike?
Yes.
Okay.
What was that, officially 100 yards?
I just said that. I'm not sure, though. I think it was at the goal line. We're close to it. Timeout on the field. Called by the Golden Bears as they wanted to see the kick formation. And again, special teams has been a focal point of our conversations with Coach Jim Clemens throughout the playoffs. Trying to tinker with, like you said, new roles, new assignments, but also just some penalties and stuff. As they try to continue to work through that, special teams coordinator Gordon Winnikov has had that unit working. They've made, remember how big the plays were from special teams early in the season? Yeah. Now they've kind of been plagued by some penalties and tough decisions. So just trying to get things zeroed in here on this timeout. You could see Coach Clements in that huddle really talking to these guys and trying to make sure we get the right alignment, prepare for what they may do, as we know Frostburg State is very creative on special teams.
And it also puts something, he wants them to continue and close this out. Also, this puts something on film for next week. Also, so whoever Kutztown goes up to next week will have this, how they cover an onside kick. So he wants to close this out. But Amir Anderson, just with a big play right there, is another explosive play by the Kutztown special teams right there, and two kickers out here, and they'll decide which one's going to kick. And
the wind knocks the ball over, but yes, that is the formation they're using. So we have two kickers as kind of a trick to see who that. Brandon Keene and Sam Dominguez are out right near the ball.
Clever.
And the kick goes that way, right into the hands of a Golden Bear who falls on it. So Keene was the one who kicked it.
Now a punch was just thrown over there.
We have some extracurriculars.
Looked like a punch was thrown.
I think Eden Johnson was the one who fell on it. And some extracurricular stuff with 1:49 to go has been an underlying theme today. We do have a penalty marker on the field. We'll take a look at this replay, Mike. The kick comes from the right side on the fake out by Dominguez. Caught there, a little push and then another push at the end, and I think that was just a block in the back, and then the Bobcats kind of interpreted that as a late shove, but I think they were kind of just blocked into it as a continuation of the play. Either way, it resulted in a penalty flag thrown. We'll see what the decision and the call is here, as we've heard quite a bit from our referee today, Michael Gervais.
This will be the 12th penalty of the day.
Offsides on the play on Frostburg State, then unsportsmanlike on Frostburg State. And it'll give Kutztown some penalty yardage to push them further in the Frostburg State's territory here to start this possession. 1:49 to go. The Golden Bears look to salt this one away, and we'll also see couple of personnel changes here. Imagine just a couple of kneel downs for Kutztown remaining. As we see Antonino Russo, the redshirt sophomore out of Northampton area high school, come on. He's had numerous relief appearances today, a lot of times in games like this where KU has already secured a sizable lead. And they are in victory formation. So a couple of kneel downs separate the Golden Bears from the Super Region 1 final. As they'll kneel that one there on first down as the KU crowd starts to come to their feet. As Kutztown, who's off to the best start in school history, a 13-0 record to begin the 2025 campaign, a team that began the 2025 season ranked 7th after a horrible way to end last year on the wrong side of a SportsCenter top 10 play here on your own field. Coming back here, top 10 spotlight, PSAC East preseason favorite, won your third consecutive PSAC crown, Mike, running your way through the division and then having a battle with IUP where you ultimately pulled away in the second half, having to win another game this year with the new format with 4 more teams added to the Division II tournament. No buys for the first seed in every region, but they do earn the first seed in Super Region 1, do the Golden Bears. and they had to go right to work. They usually get a bye. That's what we've seen in years past. Instead, had to come off that 28-23 win at PSAC finals, then beat Bentley 52-0, and then had to face Assumption for the second time this season and beat the Greyhounds 56-19. And now the Kutztown University Golden Bears are your 2025 Super Region 1 champions.
Yeah, and Coach Clemens and Coach Wagner meeting at midfield as we look at the celebration of the Super Region 1 champions again for the Kutztown University Golden Bears. Congratulations to Coach Clemens and the staff and everybody here at Kutztown. Tyler, it's been great to be back with you this year, and what a memorable year to return for me, beginning with that Assumption game that went on forever, which I didn't see the end of, but and just this team getting better and better every week.
So Kutztown, with a final score of 51-29, limits the Bobcats in the second half, pull away offensively, and uses a 216-yard on-the-ground rushing attack to go along with 151 passing yards to earn the victory here at home. And Kutztown will move to 14-0 overall, and the third-ranked Golden Bears are back in the national semifinals for the second time in school history. Frostburg State will wrap up their 2025 campaign as the 24th-ranked team going into the final poll, and with an 11-3 record as the Bobcats see their resilient season come to a close. But KU will be one of the final 4 teams playing football at the NCAA Division II level. What comes next for them, we shall see. They will reseed the final 4 teams, and those semifinals will be next week, Saturday, December 13th. And it will be live on ESPN+, and the winner of those will go to the championship in Texas on December 20th. Mike, it's been a pleasure being with you throughout the season. Honored that you came back. I wouldn't want to go through a historic season like this without anybody but you. So thank you for answering the call. Thank you for coming back here and being part of this 2025 campaign for us.
Enjoy it, Tyler, and all the best of the holiday season to you and your wife and your family. And again, to KU, thanks so much for welcoming me back. And I enjoyed every minute of it.
All 3 other quarterfinal games are going on here on ESPN+. Hop over to those and see who else will advance to the national semifinals next weekend. Thank you to our SFBN crew.
Yes.
They have been a huge enhancement here in 2025. Honored to be working alongside those individuals, making Mike and I's antics sound and look just a little bit better here this fall. That'll do it for us here today, folks. An exciting offensive thriller that ended with a defensive shutdown by the Golden Bears as they win their second Super Region 1 in the last couple of years. Best of luck to the Golden Bears and the rest of the teams for the remainder of 2025. For everyone from the SFBN crew, Mike Iannacci, I'm Tyler Trumbauer saying so long from Andre Reed Stadium.